At the beginning of the story, I explained that I transmigrated. To be precise, 18 years ago, I was reborn into this remote village where the bus only comes every 2 hours. After a few years of trying, I finally gave up on unrealistic fantasies like systems. I decided to focus on studying because I firmly believe that knowledge can change one's destiny. My next life goal is to get into the top university in the country. After graduating, I'll become a civil servant, and then live a leisurely life as a pensioner after retiring. However, there was a System's Voice system activated. The game starts now. System's Voice player can earn points as rewards through successful romancing of characters. I thought I waited for 18 whole years. I've loaded into a gal game and I'm only awakening the system now. Isn't it a bit too late? I was thinking either appear earlier or don't show up at all. What's with this mistimed appearance? Suddenly a man said, "Let's go. Che, it's time for lunch," and his name was Guishu. Jihoijia requested, "Hey, can you lower your voice a little?" And further told, "Have you guys decided on which club to join?" He asked in return, "Is there a sleep club?" Then said, "I hope there's a foodie club. But speaking of food, what are we having later?" I was thinking these two are friends I made in high school. They're pretty decent. I was further thinking, but the school requires us to join a club after class, so I'll find one that allows me to leave early. And I thought, as expected, only I can see the floating window. This page is an info panel. I thought the stat point average is 5. Now that I look at it, I'm smart and handsome. That's spot on. A button for shop. The 100 points I have are only enough to buy this mysterious detector. Such a setup clearly indicates the existence of rules that cheat players. Then system notification and was written. Before romancing each character, it is recommended to use the detector to check if they are a love interest first. Detectors can be purchased from the shop. I thought romancing women till they wholeheartedly agree to be my girlfriend earns me points in the game. It's forcing players to be scumbags. In that case, then I pressed the detector button. There was a beeping sound. Detector chances to view information of women. System's Voice. Please focus your gaze on a viewable target within 15 seconds. The system will complete the assessment. I thought, it's crystal clear. Then there was some people and I was trying to view their profile. Time's running out. I'll just pick someone randomly. Why can't I view her information? I was further thinking, as expected of a realistic game, to value physical appearance a lot. System's Voice. Unable to retrieve subsequent quests. Please try harder. I thought I can't waste the detector anymore. I should sell the club matter first. Students were talking and shouting for photography. Club is in urgent need of models. We offer free photo shoots. Soccer club has a cute female manager waiting for you. Literature club is soliciting articles. Then a girl was saying to another girl, music club is looking for 2 tuba players. No experience is required. I thought, why aren't there any laid-back clubs? Was further saying to the girl, our club aims for national competitions. Don't waste our time if you're a loafer. I thought, they definitely won't let me leave early. Human Observation Club is recruiting members. Activity, observing humans. Time, all the time. There was a free Human Observation Club pass. I said people who are used to leaving early are preferred. Further, I said I may not be clear with the club-related rules in the student handbook, but this Human Observation Club definitely doesn't fit in with any school spirit, isn't it? Human Observation Club is right here. Could it be a hobby group? There was a note. Hobby groups refer to grassroots organizations that are driven by passion, and I knocked on the door. Then a voice came from the room. Come in. I said, excuse me, and I saw a beautiful girl sitting on a chair. I asked, is this Human Observation Club? I heard that members are allowed to leave early. Are you the only one in this club? Is this a hobby group? And I further asked, can I join? And she closed her book and stared at me. Then I was thinking, it's my first time meeting. We were both looking at each other silently. Then I thought, a girl with a gaze like that, her eyes seemed to look right into my heart. I was thinking she's different from ordinary girls, and then I used to detect the profile her character Ching Lin information. Currently observing various types of humans, but is not very interested in the activity herself. Dislikes liars and talkative people. No past relationships. Romanceable. I thought to myself, she's actually romanceable. How audacious of you to stare at me for so long. It's a misunderstanding. I was actually interacting with the floating window while facing you, but in order to join the club, it's my first time meeting a girl as beautiful as you, so I got entranced by accident. That's a lie. I hate liars. Was I busted? She seems very observant. Watch me handle this naturally. Lynn, you're pretty and talented. I'm immensely captivated by you. You're lying. Then she closed her book. She reckoned I was lying without even looking at me. Could she have telepathy? No. It's most likely because I've already been labeled as a liar. Looks like I have no hope of joining this club, but it's somewhat interesting. Meeting a male sample who's indifferent to my looks is a first. If being captivated by me is a lie, then it means you're different from ordinary boys. Exactly. So you should hurry up and let a unique person like me join the club. So I was shocked when she asked that. Do you like men? Did I encounter a fan of boys love comics? This so-called human observation can't be observing all the boys in school and pairing them up to obtain gratification, right? Answer me. Do you like men or not? No. Then she was looking at me, her cute eyes, and I was nervously waiting for her answer. So can I join the club or not? I'll allow you to join for now. Although there are many men who are full of lies, you're still worth observing. Then she handed me a form, full of lies. I really don't like men. And he started writing down. You can leave early, but you must attend the club activities. Also, come to the club room every Friday. Don't worry, it won't take up a lot of your time. Club activities. What are they? At the moment, we need to submit articles to Literature Club. The deadline is this Friday before the school day ends. What does that have to do with human observation? Also, I'm not good at writing articles. With her strange eyes, she was staring at me. You're not good at writing articles. Write a letter of resignation. Then when I heard that, I was speechless. I'll be taking my leave now if there's nothing else for me to do. Never mind. I'll just come up with something random. I finally managed to join a club. No matter what, it's a lot better than clubs that mandate members to take part in club activities for 2 hours. She doesn't even react when I'm leaving. How focused. It's my first time meeting a boy with a gaze like that and called my name in her mind. Du Che, you're the first person who dared to meet my eyes for so long the next morning. Che, please accept this. But I didn't notice her and walked silently away for her. Ching Lin, although she's a love interest, she's too aloof and hard to read. Behind me she was crying and I was unaware. According to my investigations, she's even the top student in the entire grade. The difficulty level for romancing her must be hard as hell. I was unaware and was thinking might end up failing miserably even after spending a lot of time and effort. She was crying and said I failed. It feels like Che has something on his mind. Why don't you try again another day? I can only use the detector one last time. Chances to view information of women 1/3. I don't have points to buy a new detector, so I must use it with caution. If I get a pass again, this game might come to a standstill. In home economics classroom, afternoon home economics class, he was slicing the potato like grizzly bear and said to him, watch out. The way you cook is so amusing. Then he was blushing. Shanko, do you have a girlfriend? Not yet. Do you plan to get a girlfriend? I guess so. You sure are impressive. Shoo. Are you actually flirting with a girl in home economics class? With a changing sound as cook for food was all fallen down. Hey, you startled me. Sorry. Be more careful. Didn't you say you know how to cook when we teamed up? I'm sorry. Are you dumb or? She poked her chest and asked, are you not putting your heart into it? I'm dumb. How could I not put my heart into it when I'm cooking with you? What are you waiting for, then? The floor's so dirty. Hurry up and pick it up, then wash it 5 times. Yes, it's Yuame from class 1. I heard she's unpopular among girls. My friend from middle school is in class 1. She told me that Yuame seems to get money from boys often. Get money from boys? How else? And he suddenly grabbed my shoulder and said it's a batch in real life. It's my first time seeing one. Hey. That was dangerous. It's not from a comic or an animation, right? Judging from the previous 2 assessment results from the detector, girls with high charisma are more likely to be activated as love interests, although Yuhame seems to have an extremely bad reputation. And then I pressed on the detector. The success rate for viewing her information should be the highest, and she was viewable. Character, Yuhame age 18. I shouted in my heart. I knew it. Information pursues fashion, obtains money by agreeing to be someone's girlfriend, looks down on ugly and poor people, past relationships for romanceable. Looks like it's just as rumored even though you're not that attractive and you're clumsy. You're quite cute sometimes, as long as you listen to me. Are you praising me? Our relationship can actually be a bit better. That's great. I'll listen to everything you say. How may? And she looked at others and they were all gossiping. Then she picked a knife and a potato. Shinjing. Yes. Can I leave the rest of the cooking to you? I really can't handle it. No problem. Leave it to me. You are so reliable. Giving up on his dignity to please a girl. This type of relationship doesn't suit me at all. Anyway, since I don't want to be in a relationship, why not choose the method with the highest convenience and success rate? Using money to make her my girlfriend. There's an appendix and I clicked on. If the relationship lasts for a week, a month, a year or 10 years, there will be check-in rewards. 10 years. What the heck? Dating for 10 years means Che. We've been together for 10 years. Hurry up and marry me. But I actually wait. What's with 1 year? 10 years. And I closed my ears and they were confused by my actions. However, Duche forgot one important thing. With my meager part-time salary, I'll only have enough money to get rewards for a week or a month. But I am poor. He's a bona fide pauper. Luckily, I'll receive my salary for April after work today, together with my savings. I should be able to scrape together $1,000. I wonder if I can get you Mayota to agree to be my girlfriend. And the next day at noon, Che, we overheard it at the entrance. The legendary perfect girl, Qing Lin, actually asked you that kind of question. She's just using me as a guinea pig, observing my reactions through questioning. Ha, I don't believe you. You lose if you take her questions seriously. Didn't you see how she treated us? Yeah, she didn't even question us. This happened about 20 minutes ago in Literature Club. I'm Duche, and I would like to submit an article in the name of Human Observation Club. And they started whispering to each other. As expected, he's the same as that person. I can't believe the school allows such a club to exist. This is unfair. We got your submission. Get out now. Literature Club doesn't welcome you guys. Man, I wonder how Qing Lin offended Literature Club. Silently was working away. My friends were following me behind. Were you guys spying on me? Did you join Qing Lin's club? We just happened to pass by. I joined the club so that I could leave early. By the way, Che, since club members are allowed to leave early, how about you refer us to the club? Yeah, after all, we haven't had the chance to meet the legendary perfect girl, Qing Lin, up close yet. I can only try. Yay, there are 20 minutes left till the afternoon classes start. Let's go there on our way to class. Answer a question for me, you can join if you pass. Qing Lin sure lives up to her title as a perfect girl. She looks even prettier up close. No problem. When she said, "You've been eliminated," he was shocked. You came for an interview without even reading the requirements to join the club. He stepped forward and said, "I've read the requirements." She flipped her book and said, "I hate liars." He was embarrassed and walked away. Then his friend said, "Sorry for bothering you," and I was speechless. Do you like me? When she asked that, I was confused. Answer the question. Things can't go wrong if I praise her, right? Yeah, you're so cute, Lin. It's indeed worthwhile to continue observing you. Remember to come to the club room after school tomorrow. Be honest with you, us. Why would Qing Lin ask you if you like her? What did you do to her? I can only say that you guys are captivated by her appearance, which caused you guys to have subjective opinions. If you stay rational, you'll be able to tell that her questions are devoid of emotions. In fact, there isn't even a single superfluous word. Is that really the case? She was merely trying to get reactions out of us by using simple words. That's her human observation. Maybe Che's right. Let's not make wild guesses. After all, Lin would never have any interactions with us in the first place. Lin's father is not only the president of a major company, but also a member of Congress. Anyone that he deems to be deliberately creating scandals about his daughter will be requested to transfer or drop out of school. Seriously, Wei Ji is right. This is how it is in River State. Che, I'll treat you guys to dinner tonight, and we'll talk in detail then. But I have to participate in baseball club's activities after class, so wait for me. Afternoon, after class. Sorry, I need to wait for my friends from other clubs, so I'm here to kill time. It's alright. Then I inhaled the air sharply. I went to submit my article to Literature Club today, and the club members' expressions changed when I mentioned Human Observation Club. Why did that happen? Why? Answer this question based on your own observation. People who are too dumb can't join this club either. The only thing I can think of is related to the article submission. You want to submit an article that's better than anything written by all the members of Literature Club to embarrass them. Then observe themas in observing the reactions of humans in this situation. I was imagining, of course, since you're the top student in the entire grade, it'll be an unfair victory if you write it yourself. Us the book lovers actually lost. Therefore, only by sending out a nobody like me to defeat them can they be embarrassed, making it more worth your while to observe them. The latter part is a lie. She can even detect one half lie. Could it be that she really has telepathy? Fine, your IQ is very high, so I don't think you'd do something that you aren't confident in. You passed. Congratulations. From now on, you're officially a member of Human Observation Club. Thank you. Can you say me how you detect lies? You seem to be particularly good at seeing through lies. Do you do it through psychology or through your knowledge of facial expressions and body language? Or is it a combination of both? Neither. When I was 3 years old, I could suddenly tell if someone was lying. In other words, at that time, I gained the ability to see through lies. I don't expect anyone to believe such a surreal thing. Back then, I witnessed the hypocritical side of humans much earlier than others. Ms. Qing, you're a genius. I'm sure you will achieve great things in the future. If you could have your father give me a promotion, we're all your best friends. People are two-faced, flattering each other for various purposes. Could you ask your father to continue sponsoring our school this year? As for me, I quietly observe their lies. I genuinely despise those who lie, so I demand of myself that I never lie. But there's no one in this world who doesn't lie, so you started to hate everyone around you. Do you believe what I said? Although I don't have the ability to detect lies, I'm willing to believe your words. He doesn't have the ability to detect lies, yet he's willing to believe in something as bizarre as this. And I was standing there silently and she was staring at me and thinking, Che, you sure are a unique person. I've always believed that lying is a part of human nature. I never thought there could be a completely honest person in this world, a perfect girl who never lies. At least that's how she is now. The questioning is over. As an official member of the club, you can stay if you want, but please remain quiet. System's voice. You have a new email. Please check Ahem. There are even quests. She sent me a text. Please take good care of me in May. Che at 10:03 p.m. Sorry, I'm studying right now. You're so hardworking, Che. That's impressive. We'll be having exams next week. After all, let's study hard together. She even sent so many messages 3 hours ago. I'm gonna go get drinks. Get me a glass of soda, too. How may, Che. What a coincidence. I was going to introduce myself as I was worried that you didn't know me. How could I not know you? Che, you're well known for your good looks in Divichu County. Girls talk about you a lot. Really, the boys talk about you a lot, too. Alright, let's make use of this topic and get straight to the point. And I put down the drinks. Really? What do you guys say about me? We were all discussing whether you would be a sugar baby. Why are you concerned about my affairs? Isn't this our first time talking? Some people have always been good friends, but they can never become a couple even after a long time. Some people have never spoken a word to each other, but they can become a couple at their first encounter. People with good grades sure speak weirdly. Just get to the point. Although I've never spoken to you, I want to be your boyfriend. A confession at this place. Sorry, I didn't intend to go this far at first. I just wanted to let you know that I've been hearing bad rumors about you lately. I'm already at my limit. I can't hold it in any longer. What if I told you that they weren't rumors? Would you still like me? Since the conversation has come to this point, I'll just be upfront. How much? What? Even if it costs money, I still want to be your boyfriend. I have $1,000. I know it's not much, but I'll be happy even if I can only be your boyfriend for just a month. $1,000 a month? Really? Add me on WeChat. I'm your girlfriend. From now on, I get 5,000 points as the reward, and 1 point can be exchanged for $1. Notification. The romancing of Yu Hao Mei is complete. Player receives 5,000 points. The cost was only $1,000 and I can still get check-in rewards later. Looks like my plan is progressing smoothly. Yu Hao Mei and I both get what we want. Neither of us are emotionally invested, so we won't hurt each other. Che, what took you so long? So, unless I meet someone that I truly like in the future, I'll just find love interests like how I'm to romance. We'll be having exams next week. After all, let's study hard together. Okay. But can we keep our relationship a secret? Don't worry, I won't let the rumors affect you. Remember to give me the money, okay? I'll find a chance to give it to you tomorrow. He's so silly. If my relationship with him is a secret, I can have 2 boyfriends at the same time. I've got money to use in the long holiday. The next day I've settled up with you. How may? I have to do my classroom duties next and I've got to hurry. Today is also the day I promised Qinglin that I'd participate club activities. Sorry, I've got classroom duties today and I had to handle some personal matters last minute, so I'm a bit late. Looks like you didn't lie to get away with this. Don't you hate liars? I don't want you to keep hating me. You start lying again after just 2 sentences of truth. I have reason to suspect there's something wrong with your character. Looks like she noticed the statement, "I don't want you to keep hating me," is indeed a lie. It's because I was trying to complete the quest from the events section. Events: a girl who claims to be able to see through all lies appears before you. Content: successfully deceive the other party once. Event duration: week. Event reward: telepathy, 1 million points. My classroom duties were an official affair, so it's a legitimate excuse. Does an apology with 0 remorse count as deception? The explanation of handling personal matters is too vague. Does concealing Yu Hao Mei's matter count as deception? Deviation in judgment. In fact, every statement a person makes may touch the edge of a lie. One statement can be thought of as a lie by some people, but others might think differently. So the key to the success or failure of this quest lies in the deviation in judgment. Looks like you didn't lie to get away with this. System's lie detector. This doesn't count as deception. The behaviors of making an apology with 0 remorse and concealing the truth clearly didn't cause a deviation in her judgment. Qinglin hates lying and my behaviors are bound to make her hate me. But from the perspective of my true inner feelings, I don't want Qinglin to hate me. I had to complete the quest. I was having inner thoughts. I don't want her to hate me. I deliberately lied to make her hate me. Therefore, the statement, "I don't want you to keep hating me," led to a deviation in her judgment. But, let me try this approach again. Here's the personal information of all freshmen. Memorize and observe them, especially the ones from Literature Club. Are you serious? I don't even remember the names of half of the students in my own class. That's just the basics. You'll only pass when you memorize the names of every student in the school. I was exaggerating. The truth is, I've remembered all of my classmates' names except for a few inconspicuous ones. The system didn't send me an email female, so it seems that my exaggeration tactic also failed to create a deviation in her judgment. After spending more than an hour, Duche finally memorized the names and faces of all freshmen. Lin, I'll definitely surpass you in this exam and win first place. I'll try again, but with a lie of willpower to cause a deviation in her judgment. You've been lying non-stop since just now. Are you trying to test the limit of my patience? Although I don't care about many things, overall, I'm unapproachable without a single ounce of gentleness. If you try to use your stupid tricks of courting other girls on me, I advise you to give up. Courting girls? What do you take me for? Sorry, I was just curious. I wanted to test your ability to see through lies. How would this statement be judged? A person like you really does lie all the time. Did I lie just now? Are you saying I lied? No. Can you please leave? The smell of lies on you makes me extremely uncomfortable. Fine, I'll go. Thank you. Ching Lin is of hell level difficulty. It won't be that easy to fool her. Wait, what's the smell of lies? Do I have body odor? Duche's attempt at romancing a love interest today. Complete failure. Entrance to Newell Ifs, Newell City. In the blink of an eye, the monthly exam is over. I was planning to replicate what I did with Yu Haomei so that I could find a new target during the long holiday to get more points. But as a high school student, police officers will surely question me if I try to hit on girls here. Come shop at Wall Go Boutique. So, I found a part-time job as a cover-up. Character: Hei Shinue. Pass. However, I got off on the wrong foot. For my first detection, I was deceived by the girl's makeup skills as her charisma turned out to be only 5. Pass. Detector: 2/3 character. Lai Meiyu. This girl should be much prettier than the previous one, though. Pass. Detector: 1/3 character. San Chichuan. Even though she has a charisma of 78, could there be any other hidden requisites besides charisma that need to be satisfied? Detector: 0/3. Sorry, I'm working now. You were the one who called me over. I've severely underestimated women in society. They're all skilled in makeup, so they generally look prettier than they actually do. One day's earnings equals $35. Detector: 1,000 points equals $1,000. Money $1/1 point. This time, all that detector's detection results were passed. It's a major loss. So for the rest of the long holiday, Duche spent his time either working or studying, and my phone was buzzing and also chatting online with his girlfriend. Che, what are you doing? What is Duche doing? He paid me so much money, yet he's so cold to me. Duche's apartment. Days checked in. You have May 7 days. Player receives check-in gift money $100. Has it been a week already? Item detector: healing pill money $1 1 point. Skills entry: flower arranging 100 points, mastery cooking 1000 points, top-notch kickboxing 100 points. Even with 50% off, 10 charisma points will still cost 5000 points, and I only have 4000 points left now. Healing pill. What the heck is that? Wait. Nice. This is what I want the most. Top-notch kickboxing. I was imagining myself with several girls and they were complimenting me. Please be our boss. As the saying goes, one should arm oneself with skills and one must have the mindset of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I have a goal now. I'll work hard to earn points. I must get my hands on top-notch kickboxing. In front of the leaderboard. Today is our first day back to school, and it's also the day the leaderboard is displayed. Leader: Qing Lin. Jieching, I worked so hard, yet I merely maintained my original ranking. Che, you're sighing even though you did so well. What does that make you us then? I should be the one sighing. Because of my drop in ranking, I was called in for a lecture by Ms. Quan early in the morning. Right, Che. Miss Quan wants you to go to her office after the afternoon classes. Why do I have to go too? Afternoon, after school, office. She called my name. Che, do you know why I want to see you? Quan Ching Nai. Is it about my results for the monthly exam? No, you did a great job on the exam. Your GPA is above average, so you'll have no problem getting into any of the top universities as long as you maintain your current grades. That's good to hear. However, I'm a little curious about something. Che, not only do you have good grades, but you're also quite handsome. Could you tell me your ambition? No. I definitely can't tell her that my ambition is to live a leisurely life as a pensioner after retiring. At this moment, Chase suddenly recalled a line from a movie in his past life. I got it. Please let me be a hunk in Easter in my next life. I've decided to become Easter hunk. Is it a new profession? It should be an attitude toward life. You're so funny. Che. Then she started laughing. Sorry, I don't quite understand the latest trends. Some strange things came to my mind, and I started laughing nervously with a poker face. But it can also be understood as a high-risk profession. I can tell you stories about Easter hunk when you're free next time. Ha, Easter hunk the pathological liar. Lin, why are you here as well? Since Lin is here, let's get back to the point. Actually, I called you two here because Literature Club complained to the Students' Union about Human Observation Club. It's about the no submissions, right? Lin, your argumentative essay. Literature Club, a waste of space, received the most votes. That's so mean. Getting first place is one thing, but scolding the organizers is quite another. Not to mention the organizers had to print this essay in the school magazine, as expected of a beauty with an intelligence of 8. You too, Che, your essay won second place and it was written in Literature Club's usual literary style. Me, literary style. You defeated Literature Club with the literary style they're the best at. What do you have to say about that? It's a misunderstanding. I was just catering to their preferences. They're the ones who overinterpreted it. They aren't competent, yet they resort to complaining instead of working hard to improve themselves. Anyway, from now on, you must receive my approval for all future activities of Human Observation Club. It's an instruction given to me by the head of the department. Whatever. By the way, I'd like to ask you two for a favor. The head hopes that high-achieving students can use their time for club activities to provide one-on-one tutoring for students who failed the monthly exam for a few days. Ms. Kwan, sorry for being frank, but I think we should rely on our own efforts when it comes to studying. If we were to tutor students who have given up on studying, it caused trouble for both parties. A dozen of high-sounding excuses were omitted. Please. I don't even want to participate in club activities. Most of those who failed the monthly exam are probably underachievers who like to lie. I bet the heartless Ms. Ching won't agree to it. I hate liars. So, Ms. Kwan, I'm afraid we can't help you with this. We, Easter hunk, are you that insolent to think that you can make decisions on behalf of someone else? You are willing to tutor them. Tutoring a student who failed the exam until they scored good grades would make a good observational study. Yes, Che, to think that I called you my favorite student in front of Lin. Che, Miss Kwong wasn't lying. You're indeed her favorite student. No, actually, I like every student. I like you a lot, too, Lin. Darn it. How can I turn her down when she said that? As Kwon Ching Nai's favorite student, Du Che had to agree in the end. So, at the arrangement of Kwon Ching Nai, Du Che and Ching Lin went to Human Observation Club's clubroom to meet the two students. I'm surprised that you'd agree to help. It's because I don't dislike Ms. Kwan, even though she often lies. Isn't that contradictory? Didn't you say you hate all liars? That's right. Use your brain. East for hunk. Will human feelings always remain the same? Some hatred is in the past tense. Some hatred is in the present continuous tense. So, are we in the present continuous tense? Stay away from me. I was looking at her silently and she walked away with an angry face. At this moment, my view of Ching Lin has also changed. I'm certain that Ching Lin isn't heartless in clubroom. It's just that she lives in a world full of lies which has caused her to have a lack of trust. Although Ms. Kwan lies, it seems that they have established some kind of bond that goes beyond lies. It made up for her lack of trust. It's Che. When she called me, Lin started looking at me. Hello. In the entire Eastern, the only person who calls me in that tone is Yuhaume Human Observation Club. My name is Yuhaume. I love singing, shopping, buying new clothes, and eating all kinds of desserts. Why did I forget to check the names of the students I'm supposed to tutor first? I've seen your cheerful personality in home economics. Haume. Our unusual relationship definitely can't escape Ms. Ching's notice. Later on, I bumped into you once outside of school, and we exchanged greetings. She was looking at me with her contemptuous eyes. I just hope she won't realize I have a deal with Haume. Du Che seems quite interested in the famous Ms. Ching. Could he be keeping a low profile but is actually very wealthy? My name is Bian Yuan Tai. I like playing games and reading comics. No wonder he ignored my messages even though he paid me money. Should I play a trick on him? Ching Lin. I like peace and quiet, and I like reading. And she approached the desk. The person who's with me is Du Che. He's a pathological liar, who dubs himself Easter hunk. She's taking revenge on me for taking it upon myself to reject Ms. Wang's request on her behalf, right? Eastern hunk. Isn't that a dude who relies on his looks and jokes to get handsy with girls? Then she sat down. It seems that everyone already has a general idea of your character. Che, you have to be a good tutor. You can't do naughty things to me. Okay, you're too close. Yuhaume. Have you forgotten what you promised me? Yuan Tai, do you know where your problem lies in this exam? Maybe my vocabulary is weak. I'll go back and memorize words. You're lying. If you were this proactive, you wouldn't have gotten such grades. Sorry. Go write down all the words you don't remember 20 times each and bring them to me tomorrow. All of them 20 times. Isn't that too much? Isn't this corporal punishment? Yes. No. Fine. Go and memorize them seriously then. Don't try to deceive me. Okay? I'll memorize them seriously. However, if you fail my quiz tomorrow, I'll have to ask Ms. Kwan to contact your parents. I trust that she will report your attitude towards studying to them truthfully. I'll memorize them. I swear I will. Bringing up Ms. Quan to intimidate him. That's a shrewd move. I remember that this type of behavior was described in the ancient Chinese text Intrigues of the Warring States. To put it simply, like a donkey in a lion's hide. Come here after school tomorrow. Yes, I'll go back and start memorizing right away. Che, you won't be so fierce to me, right? Yeah, but please take your seat first. Okay, your biggest weaknesses are history and math, especially the part about the spring and autumn period and the Warring States period in world history. You got them all wrong. Say. Sometimes I wonder if it's really necessary to study the history of other countries. It's the same for math, too. What exactly is the use of these things in our daily lives? They do seem useless first glance, but you ought to know that accumulating knowledge can improve one's cognitive capacity, giving one the opportunity to create more possibilities. Take me as an example. I've done all the exam papers created by teachers, even doing some questions multiple times. It may seem like a waste of time, but it helped me understand their patterns and preferences in creating exam questions. So, all you can't be thinking of, yes, I'll help you predict the exam questions, but what are the chances of you predicting the questions correctly? My GPA is above average in MS. Quan said I could get into any of the top universities easily. What do you think are the chances of me predicting the questions correctly? Yep, I see hope for passing the exam. I'll prepare 5 sets of exam papers for you based on their patterns and creating exam questions for the next 5 days. You only need to do 1 set each day. I guarantee you'll get at least 8B in the resets. Yep, in that case, I'll leave the matter in your hands, Che. And she leaned closer to me. Yeah, but you still need to memorize the solutions after finishing the exam papers. Also, don't get any. Okay. Gui is waiting for me, so I'll be leaving now. And we were both sitting at the table silently. Is this how the East for Hunk deceives people? It's only been a month since the semester started, so there won't be much to test on once I eliminate the impossible ones. By doing 1 paper each for 5 days, she won't feel the pain of doing practice questions non-stop, but it'll still be enough for her to memorize all the knowledge points. I've got to admit that you're better than me at tutoring. Of course, you should know that not being conceited is also a strength of mine. Sure, you're the best in the whole world. That's a lie. To avoid your ignorance from hindering you from understanding my greatness clearly, I'll explain it to you. Admitting that someone inferior to you is better than you in some aspect is a noble quality. I'll leave first if there's nothing else to do. Is he playing hard to get? That's such a low-level tactic. I find it hard to believe that any woman would be deceived by this. What are you going on about again? Must my words or our actions always be aimed at making you like me more? You don't like me, but that doesn't mean you don't want to have your way with me. Those creatures who dub themselves as hunks all behave like that, don't they? No. I've never thought of having my way with you. You should know I'm not lying and started walking away with anger. Remember to close the door. Darn it. I can't believe she suspects that I have ulterior motives. It's an insult to my dignity and light rail line 1 till she cried. Lover, gold-hatted high-bouncing lover. I must have you. That's Gerald. This is the preface of the novel The Great Gatsby. The message of this poem is that if one wishes to impress a woman, know to do anything. Announcement. Next station is Valley Station. One should improve oneself first, and things will naturally become simple. It seems that whether it's attracting women or mastering more vocabulary, this book will benefit me greatly. Second day of tutoring, and he entered the room. Good afternoon. When he entered the room, suddenly a cage fell on him. Let's begin now. Start reciting. Add up. How do you spell it? He was upset. It means to calculate. That's it for today. Go back and write everything 30 times. Get out. And he lowered his head in silence, then walked away. Sorry. Although Bien Yuan Tai arrived early, he was also dismissed early. Afterward, poor Bien Yuan Tai wrote words for another 2 consecutive days. 2 minutes later, hello, Che, Yu Haomei arrived right on time. Her attitude towards studying was worse than Bien Yuan Tai's hurry up and give me the exam papers, but I gave up on criticizing her as criticism would dampen her enthusiasm for studying. Yu Haomei was like college students who received tips on the exam, feeling as if they hit the jackpot. Third day of tutoring. Did I make so many mistakes on today's exam papers? However, Yu Haomei's enthusiasm for studying began to slacken on the 3rd day. You did great at the front part, but you didn't remember the knowledge points in the back. Right. I'll teach you a trick, but I still gave up on criticizing Yu Haomei. A trick? What trick? Organize today's knowledge points on sticky notes, and then you're free to go wherever you want to play. You just need to make good use of the unused bits of time, be it while taking the train, waiting for someone, lining up, running errands for your parents. Anyway, take them out and study them seriously for some time whenever you feel bored. I guarantee that you can get good grades in the resets as long as you finish the exam papers I gave you. By then, maybe your parents will become even more generous with with your allowance. I can get more allowance. Of course, successful plan. Women who love money are so naive. Not only can you get more allowance, but you can also let your teacher and classmates know. But I worked so hard. Darn it. I can't believe I lost to her. Indeed, you simply weren't trying hard in the past. But when you take studying seriously, you can easily score better grades than the high-achieving students. How may? This is very simple for you because you have the predicted exam questions prepared by me. Whose GPA is above average? Exactly. Time flies. Alright, let's stop here for today. Time always goes by fast during cheating. I'll leave first, then. Bye. I was about to leave. Don't you have an ounce of guilt from lying? Sorry to disappoint you. Not only do I have a clear conscience, but I also do not consider this a lie. In my heart, a lie is a statement that brings about a negative result. I regard the words I said to you Halmay just now as an encouragement. Che, you're beyond help. Ha, same to you. From that day onward, Ching Lin's attitude became even colder. Ha, you have a new email. Please check it. Click to view event. An unknown girl will hide in an alley near water station because she's surrounded by 3 men. Click to start navigation. Event restrictions. Player must complete the event alone. No calling the police, friends, or other means of getting help. The rewards are Steel Trap Mine 253. The rewards for events correspond to the difficulty level. It seems that the difficulty level of this event won't be low and I can only complete it alone. Although there are risks, it's just a sexual harassment case, so I won't get beaten to death, right? Alright, I've got to make some preparations to avoid getting beaten up. Taser, pepper spray, alarm, voice recorder, multi-tool, alloy steel expandable baton, tactical flashlight. The $1,000 I exchanged with 1,000 points are just enough. All of them are next day delivery. East Fur's the best. How can the East Fur hunk stand by while a girl is being sexually assaulted? I must complete this quest. How may? Here are the results of your mock test. Day before the resets May 9th. 2 A's. Really? Human Observation Club, you wouldn't intentionally mark my wrong answers correct just to boost my confidence for the actual exam, would you? How may? I was born in a small village in Rockin Town. The bus only comes once every 2 hours. There are no shopping centers or convenience stores, not even vending machines, and whether I have phone reception depends on luck. I traveled 300 miles from my hometown to Eastern. The journey took a whole 6 hours and I did so just to study. So, even if it's a mock test that I give to other people, I would never do falsification in academic results, a place that poor actually exists. How may? The records are a piece of cake for you now, but you have to be careful. If you answer all the questions correctly, the teacher will suspect you of cheating. What should I do, then? Say this. Can I have another copy of the exam paper, please? Another copy of the exam paper? Do you think it's a restaurant? You're so funny. Shay, I'll treat you to a meal if I can get 2 A's. And she was ignoring us. However, my budget is within $10. It seems that I can have a good meal. I need to do proper research and I'll give you the answer later. You can't have anything yummy with just $10. Just how poor are you? Don't tell me you've been eating discounted meals the whole time. Then why did you spend $1,000? But are you certain that I can get 2 A's? That scared me. I'm very confident in myself. Good luck tomorrow. I'm so afraid that How May will let slip about our deal. Day of resets. Friday, May 10th. The resets are in the morning. The outcome will soon be known. Students who took the resets will be able to know their grades after the afternoon classes. And I believe you How May, whom I trained, will definitely score 2 A's. In afternoon after school, I was checking my mobile and I was looking at her messages. Che 2 A's. Congratulations. What do you want to eat? I'm raising my budget to $20. So much. Then I'll have to think hard for a long time. Nice. The outcome is just as I expected. I sure am awesome. Her budget is raised to $20. I can feast on sushi. Decide before this Saturday, and I'll treat you on Sunday. Okay, day of resets. Human Observation Club Clubroom. Che, you're finally here. Miss Kwan, why are you here? I'm burning with curiosity. Yu Hao Mei's grade for the monthly exam was F, and her GPA is below average. You raised her GPA by a lot in just 5 days. How did you do it? I predicted the exam questions for her and even cast a short-term spell on her. Predict the exam questions. Spell. Anyway, I've successfully completed the task you assigned to me. Miss Kwan, can I leave school early to go to work from next week onward? You can go to work, but you must take care of yourself. Don't stay up late. You live alone, so you must remember to have breakfast and dinner. Miss Kwan Hum, you will definitely become an excellent wife and mother in the future. You can't talk to me like this. And she slapped me with a text page. Miss Kwan, it hurts a lot. Ahem, although Yuantai's grades aren't as good, the fact that he could get 2 B's has already been beyond my expectations. To reward you two for completing the task with flying colors, I'll treat both of you to dinner tonight. It's fine, Miss Kwan. I have plans tonight. You're welcome. Both of you must have dinner with me. And she was silently watching us. Please, give me a chance to thank the two of you. Although I didn't want Miss Kwan to buy me a meal, in the end, we couldn't turn down her kind invitation. I still have work to do. Meet me here at 6, okay? And we were both sitting silently. So now, should I try to improve my relationship with Qinglin? Tell me Yu Mei's grades and reaction. She got 2 A's. As for her reaction, she seems very excited and probably a little smug, too. By the way, do you have any novel recommendations? I want to improve my reading skills too. To become East for Hunk. Yes, to become East for Hunk. And she was reading the book, then an awkward silence was created by us. Is that the end of our conversation? What about the recommendations? After 6 p.m., Ms. Kwan drove us to a nice barbecue restaurant. However, just as we were about to start our meal, I got 2 A's in just 5 days. No, to be precise, 3 days. And I only studied a little each day. He's a country bumpkin from a super-duper rural area. I can't believe people actually live there. They don't even have a convenience store there. That's so hilarious. Just how poor is his family? He probably can only afford discounted meals. Is that how Mei? She's too mean. I'll go talk to her. But I grabbed her arm and stopped her. Miss Kwan, you'll embarrass How Mei in front of many people if you go talk to her now. It doesn't bother me at all, Miss Kwan. It wasn't easy for How Mei to get 2 A's, so let her be happy for a few days. You can make her answer more questions in class afterward as punishment. Really, Che? I'm proud of you. It's really nothing. You helped How Mei so much, painstakingly prepared exam papers, and took the trouble to boost her confidence, only to be betrayed by her in the end. Yet you're not angry or are bothered. What are you trying to say? Based on my observations, your behavior resembles certain characteristics of Eutherian species more closely, because based on my observations of humans, no one can have such a pathetic mindset. Are you insulting me? Ahem. I'm not angry because everything I did has nothing to do with How Mei. It doesn't matter how she sees me. I only helped her for Ms. Kwan Sake. On the contrary, Lin, with your speaking style and personality, you probably don't have any friends, right? That's none of a non-human's business. Hey, why don't you two become friends? Lin, didn't you say Che is worth observing? Ha, and they were both silent. Che is smart, diligent, self-disciplined, and motivated. I can tell that he has a great character from how he handled the incident with How Mei. Are you promoting an unpopular investment product called Duche? No, my requirement toward friends is that they can never lie. And he obviously doesn't satisfy that requirement. I never lie, so I have the right to demand others to do the same. Kwan, our values are too different, so we can't be friends. No, I have a feeling that you two will become friends one day. Maybe you two will even become. Excuse me, when I saw the food, I was drooling all around my face. After dinner, Quan Qingnai decided to drive Qinglin home. Since Diu Che was a boy, he could only head home alone. I'll drive my car over now. Lin, you can just wait for me. Here, what's this? The Great Gatsby? Is this the follow-up to my question? What books should I read to improve my reading skills? Remember to give it back to me after you're done with it. You're lending me the book you've been reading for a long time. Are you fond of me now? Alright. I'll overlook your speaking style for now since you lent me the book. Have you become hopelessly delusional? Well then, goodbye. I can now kill time on the train ride home later and May 10th. These equipments should be enough to deter those delinquents from bullying the girl. And I took them into my pocket. Start navigation systems. Voice navigation started. Estimated travel time is 40 minutes. Okay. Let's go at water station. Systems voice. Turn right in 0.03 miles. The destination is nearby. The navigation ends here. It's a dead end. No one will hear me even if I scream for help. But anyway, this kind of sexual harassment incident probably won't escalate into a murder case. At 9:56 p.m., then there was clicking sound coming from Sandals. Is she here? Hey, it's a dead end right ahead. And she turned around, then I was staring at her and my cheeks went red. You. Then she approached towards me. Come here. Is she ordering me? A girl who's being sexually harassed should be frail and vulnerable, isn't it? You don't look well. Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers. Alfred Lord Tennyson is right. If you need help, I can escort you home. Suddenly she grabbed me and then kissed me on my lips. My hands were trembling and I was blushing. She's been drugged, hasn't she? Suddenly I heard some footsteps coming towards us. Something's wrong. These 3 men look like Gunzo or bodyguards. My life might very well be in danger. Let's search over there. I was nervously standing there. Then they walk away, and she pushed me away. What's going on? Darn it. Are you okay? Darn it. And I was looking at her silently. You'll hurt your lips if you keep rubbing it. You have a new email. The quest is that simple event. Save the unknown girl. Completed. Rewards issued, and suddenly behind me, a hand came at my back and grabbed me down. Gia, I'm terribly sorry for arriving late. This woman is very strong. Looks like I'm in deep trouble. Have you gotten rid of those guys? Yes, they've all been taken care of. Now I'll give you one chance. Tell me honestly. Who are you? I'm just a high school student. I can show you my student ID. I don't have it with me now. Then she started pressing me down on the ground. But I really don't mean any harm. A student who carries these things. Also, you coincidentally appeared before me at this time and place. That's quite a coincidence. Ha, it is quite a coincidence. I'm timid. Those things are just for self-defense. Timid. In that case, show me if you are actually timid. How do you know what are these? Then she unfolds some injections. Anesthetic drug. I wouldn't use a tool like that. Have you heard of succinylcholine? In clinical medicine, patients are injected with skeletal muscle relaxants of this type before surgery to prevent them from moving during the surgery. But this type of drug also paralyzes the respiratory muscles. So, if there's no nasal cannula, the person injected with it will suffocate to death while being fully conscious. Are you really going to kill me? Why? Because you're the first man who dared to touch me. I saved you. Besides, you were the one who initiated it, and she pressed my head down. I did touch you first, but so what? Stop, you lunatic. Darn it, she's actually serious about it. At May 10th, and I started screaming. It was an intense suffocation I've never experienced before. I could vaguely remember that succinylcholine was indeed injected into my body. Stop. You two are lunatics. Help. Darn it. It's getting increasingly difficult to breathe. Help me. It's so painful. Stay calm. I remember seeing healing pill in the system shop. Previously, I might be able to cure my paralyzed respiratory muscles with the healing pill, regardless of whether it works so or not. I can only try it. Redeem use now. Confirm to use now. Return to the previous page. I was unconscious for about 15 minutes. Looks like the healing pill worked. All the weapons on the ground are gone and they didn't leave any traces behind. They probably wanted to make it look like I dropped dead. Should I call the police? If I call the police, I won't be able to explain how I came back to life. Tonight's event was a terrifying experience for an ordinary person, still in a state of shock. Duchai resisted the urge to go straight home and instead made a long detour by train. Along the way, he bought a set of summer clothes and changed out of his original attire, and I was cursing the system again and again. How can she kill someone so easily? Over the weekend, Duchai kept his door shut, staying holed up in his rental to gather information, and suddenly my phone started ringing. He attempted to find information about the young woman who tried to kill him, but he found nothing. It's already Saturday. Have you decided on the restaurant for tomorrow? What is Duche doing? He doesn't even reply to my messages. What a weirdo. It's my first time offering to buy someone a meal. Has Duche replied to our messages? We were so nice to invite him out, but he didn't reply to us at all. He even considered leaving Eastfur, but he didn't want to return to his hometown without achieving anything. There are over 40 million people in Eastfur, and there are countless people who look like me. No matter how powerful she is, if I don't report it to the police and remain silent, she shouldn't be able to find me, right? I should still go to school as usual on Monday. I can't let that crazy woman ruin my life like this. Monday at morning, in order to avoid exposing himself in crowded places as much as possible, Deuce left home early in the morning. However, which big shot is visiting our school and a line of cars was standing before me, and then a girl yawning came out of the car. Why do they look familiar? Those two. Aren't they the crazy women I met on Friday night? What's going on? Then her bodyguard started whispering something into her ear. Also, it seems that then they surround me. They recognized me. She wants me to get in the car. It seems that the sentence "you can't swing a cat without hitting someone you know" does apply to this so-called gal game. I was in the car and the car was moving. She was standing before me and I was nervously looking towards her. She unfastened her heel and I was blushing. She told me to take them off for me. Her foot in front of me. I replied, "If you have something to say, please say it nicely." Showing the injection, she told me, "You won't listen to me." And her bodyguard was staring at me. Then I shouted, "Wait." Taking out her stockings, I said, "I'll take it off." With a dark face, she told, "Looks like you're not immortal after all." Taking out her stockings, I thought, she is mocking me, isn't she? She said, "If you're this slow next time," and caused my leg to be sore. I thought, not only is this woman crazy, but then she put her legs on my shoulder and said, "I'll punish you by making you resurrect yourself again." And I thought, she's also a devil. The cars were moving on the highway. In the front row, some guards were in standby. With nervous face, I said to her, "Should I hold it or?" But she was asleep. Her bodyguard glared at me and said, "Be gentle if you don't want to resurrect yourself again." I thought, this is absurd. That crazy woman could take my life at any time. I further added, "Yet I don't even know her name." Then an idea struck me, right, the detector. I might be able to get valuable information with this thing. Then I used detector and it was successful, costing me 1,000 points. Looking forward, I thought my remaining points are only enough to redeem one last healing pill, but if I can't take down this crazy woman, getting more healing pills won't be of any use. Info is character. Jia Cheng age, 18 information manages the Jia family's billion-dollar assets. Egoist, has no regard for human life, no past relationships, and she was romanceable. Such terrifying information. I can't believe she's romanceable. Jia Cheng said, why are you still holding onto my stockings? She said, do you like my stockings that much? If so, I'll give them to you. I was trying to say something but stopped and I thought, do I like them or not? It's another life or death decision. Why is it that others people romance games have options like hold hands and kiss? I further added, but I get this instead. I was imagining she's saying if you tear or lose them, I'll put stockings over your head. Coincidentally, I also want to know how many layers of stockings it takes to suffocate someone. I thought looks like I can only put them in my bag for safekeeping, and said sorry. Them into my bag I thought the Great Gatsby. In the 11 University-affiliated hospital at morning time, bodyguard said this dude called Duche is indeed a student. Jia Cheng was looking down on my information papers and her bodyguard further added I couldn't find any more information on his background. Opening the door a voice said sorry to keep you waiting. Jia Cheng replied, did you find out anything, Dr. Gong? He replied, succinylcholine is a substance abundant in the human body and can be quickly metabolized. His body is completely normal. Jia Cheng asked, tell me your secret. I replied, I really don't know anything. Why would I still go to school if I really had a secret and I thought I can't have the system's existence be exposed? Jia Cheng said, you happened to save me last night. Further added, it's my first time visiting that school today, and you coincidentally ran into me. With an evil look she asked, does such a coincidence exist? I was frightened thinking what she said makes sense. I can't argue otherwise. Jia Cheng said, the people that I kill are usually sent to this hospital, where Dr. Gong is responsible for issuing death certificates for acute heart failure. The old man replied, it's my honor to serve you. I told I'll tell you I actually survived with a kind of medicine. I was very nervous when she asked me medicine, and she told me take it out. Then, I thought the healing pill could be materialized into goods and handed over to Jia Cheng, and I redeemed the healing pill. But if she kills me after getting it, I'll be a disgrace to all transmigrators. I said that kind of medicine is very precious. I was thinking, I'm going to take a gamble. Jia Cheng asked, do you want money? But you need to be alive to spend the money. Further added, anyhow, I can agree to your request. I'll give you any amount of money that you want as long as you hand over the medicine. She thought, how boring. I'll kill him as soon as I get the medicine and ingredient list. I said I don't want money, and further added, actually, I fell in love with you the moment you kissed me that night. I want you to be my girlfriend. Her bodyguard was very angry looking towards me. She was shocked when she heard that. With a dark face she said you are, and laughingly added, quite interesting. The system prompt stated successful romancing of Jia Cheng. Okay, I'll allow you to be my boyfriend. The system prompt stated player receives 200,000 points. I was shocked and I thought that's awesome. The system prompt stated days checked in. You how may 17 days. Jia Cheng 1 day due chase remaining points, 200,000. I thought as expected, non-players simply will not care about this kind of thing. I thought the kickboxing skill of top-notch level is indeed tempting. It may allow me to take down the 2 women in front of me. Looking towards the bodyguards I added, but what should I do about the group of bodyguards downstairs? I thought considering her power, they may very likely possess firearms. Then, there's also the Jia family, with assets in the billions. I've got to use the 200,000 points wisely. The old man said, from a psychological perspective, this should be Stockholm Syndrome. Jia Cheng was laughing and said, it's so amusing. I thought, let me try using the Charisma 50% off voucher to redeem Charisma points. I used 50% off voucher and 5,000 points deducted. My remaining points were 195,000. The system prompt stated, please choose a specific Cha feature. Smile, voice, gaze, figure, aura, personality. I thought there's no time to dither. I'll just follow my hunch. The system prompt stated smile has been chosen. Please choose a skill effect. There were many options like convincing, friendly, sweet, wry, fake, and charming. The system prompt stated smile charming has been chosen. The system further added player's cha is increased to 9. Using the charming effect I thought, very well. Let me use my charm to keep her under control. Imagining she was blushing, I thought, I'll get the check-in rewards while continuously improving myself. The Jia family is no. Jia Cheng said I should just kill you and I was confused. I thought what went wrong, she was clearly charmed by me just now. Jia Cheng said I should just kill you and I was running from her. Then she grabbed me from behind and said, look at how pale you become. It's quite cute. With a poker face she further added, if you dare to smile like that again, I'll fix your mouth in that position and let you smile forever. I shouted, got it. The old man said, Miss Jia, with all due respect, I think Duche is stalling for time. Further added, we searched his clothes and bag during the physical examination, but not a single medicine was found. I thought just as I expected, they searched everywhere possible. They will only become more suspicious of me if I manage to take out the medicine from nowhere. To avoid exposing the system, I can only resort to this, I said, but there is one place that you guys probably didn't comb through. The old man shouted, "Stop trying to fool us." Taking out a bag, I thought the subordinates responsible for searching my bag. Handing it over, I thought shouldn't be daring enough to touch Jie Cheng's stockings. Jie Cheng asked, "It's hidden inside there?" The old man shouted with anger, "How dare you disrespect him?" Jie Cheng said, "It seems that you don't actually like my stockings. How should I punish you?" And told, "Let's cut off one of your toes." Then her bodyguard took out a knife. She was looking towards me, and I was saying, "Like your stockings a lot, believe me." Jie Cheng said, "I believe you. Put it in your mouth." When I heard that, I was shocked. With an innocent smile, she said, "It seems that you don't like it enough." Tightly gripping the pouch, I thought although a man can be flexible, now is obviously a time when I can't abandon my dignity. "I'll kill these two women. I've redeemed a top-notch skill." Jie Cheng said, "Just as I thought. You look more pleasing to the eye when wearing a pitiful expression." "Never mind." Then her bodyguard put away the knife. With an indifferent face, she said, "Hurry up and take it out." I thought this crazy woman is too dangerous. I told, "This is the last pill I have with me." I thought, speaking of which, this is the first time I've materialized an item. Jie Cheng asked me, "What exactly does it do?" I replied, "It can cure most injuries and abnormalities immediately after consumption, but I'm not sure about the specifics." Jie Cheng asked, "Immediately after consumption, do you know what you're saying?" I replied, "I can't guarantee that it'll be effective for everyone, so you can try it on minor injuries or illnesses first." I said, "But the production of this medicine is very low. I can only get one pill per month." The old man said greedily, "Ms. Jia, please give me this medicine. I can help you analyze its composition." She thought this dude still isn't satisfied with becoming the director of this hospital from helping me deal with some corpses, and now he even has the audacity to just reach out to get something like this. Jie Cheng asked, "Why are you so impatient, Dr. Gong?" And the doctor was petrified. Jie Cheng said to Jing Lu, "Use him to test the effectiveness of the medicine." Jing Lu replied yes. She was running towards the doctor, and the doctor was shouting, "Miss Jia," and saying, "Spare me, Miss Jia. I've helped you deal with so many corpses. I can continue to help you." In front of my eyes, she killed the old man. I thought he's her subordinate. This crazy woman named Jie Cheng truly has no regard for human life. Jie Cheng told, "That's enough." Taking the pill from me, she said, "Now, let me see how immediate it is." Throwing it into the old man's mouth, she added, "I hope it won't disappoint me." Then, as his blood started to flow back into his body, they were shocked to see the old man's wounds heal, and he woke up. Jie Cheng took out her injections again. I asked, "Why?" She replied, "Of course, it's to protect my boyfriend. It's too dangerous for others to know that you have this kind of medicine." Then she injected the doctor, who begged for mercy, but slowly and painfully died. Jing Lu was packing the old man's body. Then Jie Cheng said, "All right, tell me the ingredient list for the medicine." I replied, "You are my girlfriend, and I genuinely like you, so giving you the medicine is not a problem. But if you want the ingredient list," I further added, "please date me for a year." I told, "I'm confident that I can make you fall in love with me within a year. When that happens, I will willingly tell you everything." She replied, "It's not fun that you're so gutsy." I was nervous when she said 1 year is too long. With a dark face, she said 2 months, and I want the medicine and the ingredient list. I replied, "No problem." Outside, it was raining intensely, and I was thinking, Eastver is still the same under a rainy sky, but I seemed to be unable to return to the real world. Sitting inside the train, I thought after being murdered, I witnessed another murder with my own eyes, and then saw the Jie family's ability to cover up crimes. Dr. Gong was deemed by the hospital to have died of heart failure from staying up late to work. The progression of things feels too much like a fantasy. I remembered Jing Lu saying, "Hey, you can leave now," and I thought, in the face of such a powerful family, I, who already had my identity exposed, have nowhere to hide. Nearby, a girl was saying, "Why aren't you sharing your location?" Then she shouted, "You're out on a date with that woman again, aren't you?" And I heard that, I was speechless. I thought, forget it. I should just go to school. An old man was walking towards our school, then heard someone saying, "Why were you so late today?" Che Quan asked me, "Did something happen?" I replied, "No, nothing happened." I thought Miss Quan didn't notice anything unusual with me, did she? I told her I came late today because I stayed up all night studying. I thought I can only find an excuse to cover it up. Anyway, I mustn't get Miss Quan involved in this. I shouted, "I like you, Miss Quan." So I've been giving it my all in study. When nearby people heard that, they were all shocked. Quan got very shy and said, "Che, what are you saying?" The old man said, "Miss Quan, please come here for a moment." Then I said to the old man, "What did I just say?" When she saw the old man, she got more embarrassed and was saying, "It's not what you think." I shouted, "You misunderstood me. Sir, I meant that I like having Miss Quan as my teacher and that I respect her a lot." The old man thought that's such a serious and firm expression. Is he for real? He left from there saying students nowadays have no modesty at all. I thought that was a horrible excuse. Kwon took a long sigh and said, I don't know what to say to you. She further added, you almost got me in deep trouble. Charmingly I said, I'm sorry, Miss Kwon. Can I go back to the classroom now? She said, by the way, Che, can you not smile like that? Further added, I mean smile more naturally. I thought, shoot, I forgot about this. I redeemed a charisma skill which I thought was useless, to save myself. I replied, maybe my face is numb from sleeping on it last night. She said, I see. Studying is important, but you must also remember to rest well. I replied, okay, I will. I was thinking, I guess smile charming isn't useless. After all, I was sitting in the classroom thinking this is the world of normal people. There's no kidnapping, murder, or succinylcholine. However, I'm well aware that Jieching will find me again, so I must become stronger as soon as possible. Looking towards the system board, there was written Steel Trap Mind 90% discount voucher. I thought using the 90% discount voucher for Steel Trap Mind is currently the most cost-effective decision I've made. Suddenly someone grabbed me and said, Che, it was my friend saying you seem off in the past few days. The blonde said, yeah, you barely replied to our messages, and you came to school late today. He asked me, did something happen to you? He told me to tell us. I thought I can never involve my friends in this matter, so I must come up with an excuse to make them drop this topic. I replied, I have to keep getting better in my studies because, and told them with a poker face I made a vow to Ms. Kwon that I'd become East for Hunk. When they heard that, they were horrified, saying East for Hunk. I said, improving oneself can make many things simpler. That's the most important thing I learned from this book. I told them confidently. Inside, the crimson room bloomed with light. Tom and I thought, trap mind. I can almost instantaneously remember the words in this book. They were exchanging glances with each other. The blonde said, I thought with Steel, you're already third in the entire grade, and yet you're still studying so hard. The green-haired person also said, compared to you, we're total dummies. I was speechless and thought, sorry, this is a war that belongs only to me. I thought you can't even imagine how amazing I am. After class, in the corridor, someone said, I'm going to buy a drink. Student said to Haomei, get me a bottle of mango juice. She replied, okay. Haomei saw me beside the vending machine and called my name, Duche. Haomei said, give me money, I want to get a drink. I replied, why should I treat you? Puffing her cheeks out, she asked, aren't you my boyfriend? I looked around and told her, didn't I give you $1,000? You know that I come from the countryside where there's only a bus every 2 hours, and I have to do part-time jobs. She angrily shouted, what kind of boyfriend ignores his girlfriend's WeChat messages for 2 days? And said, this is compensation for that. Can you keep it down? Took out the money from my wallet and said, I have to treat my bestie, too, so this will be just right. Then I shouted, are you robbing me? She said with a cute face, I told you it's compensation. I thought if it weren't for the pressure from Jiecheng, I was very angry, thinking I wouldn't even want the 1-month check-in rewards for you, Haomei. I left from there. Jiecheng, you can't even imagine how much I hate you. She said, I'll give you back the balance. But when she turned around, I was not there. She was very angry, saying, Duche, I've never received such treatment from a boy. Don't expect me to talk to you anymore. I'll make you spend $1,000 for nothing. I was working out, pushing up some weights and listening the podcast. I said, Jiecheng, you can't even imagine how hard I'm working to become stronger. The next day, when I saw the black car parked there, I spat out my water and said, why is she here again? The school students excited and trying to take some pictures. Then Jiecheng got out from the car. I thought, wait a minute. She was yawning and I was thinking, could it be she's a student at our school? At the school gate, her guards were making the way for her, and I thought, this is unbelievable. I never would have imagined that this scary woman would be in the same school as me. But judging from Jiecheng's surprised expression when she saw me at school on Monday, it doesn't seem like she specifically came to Eastver High School for me. Then I remembered the list of the top students, and there was written Qing Lin with first position. I thought, isn't this the name that's been ranking above me the whole time? I can't believe I only realize it now. In that case, she probably came to school on Monday to handle the re-enrollment procedures. Fortunately, she didn't bother to talk to me after coming to school, which gave me a little breathing room. Friday, after school, in the Human Observation Club. In the book over, I said, I finished the book. Thanks. She said, answer a few questions for me. I said, are you going to ask me for a book review? She said, first question, and asked, have you been feeling very eager to come to the clubroom this week? I replied, not at all. She said, second question, and asked, have you thought of me often this week? I answered, why do you think I would think of you often, and that I would be very eager to come to the clubroom to see you? She asked, I am pretty, cute, and smart. I replied, no, not at all. She smirked at me and then said, you're lying. I was confused and said, how is that possible? I thought, however, now that I think about it, I regard her as a goal to pursue. and I often imagine her smug expression and how miserable she would look after a failure. In a sense, that also counts as thinking of her. She said third question, and asked have you fallen for me? I replied do you want me to fall for you so badly and what happens after that? I further added will you conduct your so-called human observation? With a confident look she told me no. I'll kick you out of Human Observation Club. She further added liking me is a common human behavior, which means it's not worth observing. I was nervously saying kick me out. That's a typical response from you. I thought it really pisses me off. I'm going to have you make a fool of yourself. I said but I'm afraid. Using my charming skill I said you won't have the opportunity to kick me out of the club for that reason. Slamming the book shut she said I see. Asked what did you see? She said Che. I replied yeah. She told me keep it up. Let me observe how long a stubborn person like you can resist. I was blushing then shouted don't bother. I thought shit, why isn't the smile charming skill working at all? I told her I'll never fall for you. She replied is that so? Don't cave in the first semester. Someone was knocking the door she told come in. It was Kwan and she said Lin. I'm here to recommend a new club member. Please introduce yourself. Jia Cheng. When I saw her I was shocked. She said how interesting. Ms. Kwan. Both of them know me. Kwan replied is that so? That's great. She said Ms. Kwan. Please allow me to reject her membership application. Kwan asked why. She said tell Cheng the requirements for entering Human Observation Club. I said first, you must have read the entry requirements before the interview. Second, you cannot fall for the club president. Third, you cannot lie. I thought it's time to show off my steel trap mind skill. I'll repeat them word for word. Further added fourth, you must be smart enough. Disappointedly she said I was wrong. I can't believe you'd be dumb enough to memorize what I scribbled down. You really are beyond help. I was confused when I heard that. She said to summarize, the only entry requirement for Human Observation Club is that, and told I believe that you're worth observing. Jia Cheng said Ms. Kwan, according to the school rules, official clubs need at least 5 members, right? Does that mean this Human Observation Club can be disbanded? I thought Ms. Kwan doesn't realize that she's in danger. Both of these young ladies have extraordinary backgrounds. If they get into a conflict, we will surely be embroiled in it. I told Ms. Kwan, you should get back to work first. I'll inform you about the situation here later. She asked is it really okay if I leave now? I said yes, it's okay don't worry. She told me I'll leave this matter in your hands. Then, Che. Jia Cheng said actually, there's a bit of an artistic atmosphere here. It'd be a pity if it's disbanded. I said I think Cheng is worth observing, too. You can leave now if you have nothing to do. I replied okay, I'll leave, then. With a cheeky smile I thought I'll just be a cannon fodder if I stay here. So getting out of here sounds like a great idea. Jia Cheng told you can't leave. Further added it'll only be a waste of time if we continue to argue. How about this? Let's be democratic. Since there are 3 of us here, we'll have a vote. I thought, democratic. I wouldn't dare to vote no. If I vote no, you'll either kill me or make my life a living hell, right? I must think of a way to prevent Jia Cheng from joining the club, but it also can't anger her or make her go back on her word. Speaking of which, Jia Cheng's ranked 2nd place in the entire grade. Did she really achieve that with her own abilities? I said democracy is good. But isn't it unfair to geniuses like you that I, a poor high school student with nothing to my name, have equal voting rights as you two? I further added this is a school affair, and you're both students, so how about we decide this based on your results in the midterm exams in 2 weeks? I thought you can't lie in front of Qing Lin. I said the 2 of you aren't afraid of each other in this regard, right? Jia Cheng said sure, but I have a condition. The club president should also be reappointed based on the exam results. She told I'm fine with it. Jia Cheng said okay, it's settled, then. I thought it's settled. Could it be that this crazy woman actually ranked 2nd in the whole grade through her own efforts? Jia Cheng further said due to the school rules, I'll be a temporary member of this club until the midterm exams. And Jia Cheng told, but it's only temporary because I'll soon be the president. She replied yeah, it's temporary. I thought anyway, I shouldn't have to worry about Jia Cheng causing trouble for me before the midterms. I should head to the teacher's office now and report today's victory to Ms. Kwan. In the East Ver High School, some students were playing with a football and some were running. I thought in a way, I helped Ms. Kwan resolve a crisis this time, but it seems that a normal high school life is destined to be out of my reach from now on. Then a black car stopped before me. I thought is this crazy woman waiting for me? Then I noticed someone walking toward me from behind. I turned around and saw her charging at me. She punched me, and the next thing I knew, I was pinned down in the car. Jia Cheng said it seems that my warning to you wasn't enough, seeing that you made me wait for so long. I shouted wait. It took me so long to come out because I went to the teacher's office. You knew about that. I further added also, I didn't disagree with you on purpose. Even if Qinglin isn't as smart as you, she definitely isn't dumb since she can be your enemy. So, she'd never agree to vote. With a dark face she replied back, even so, you're not in the place to disagree with me first. She was going to punch me and I was shouting wait. I said I really did that for your sake. In my panic, I accidentally grabbed her leg. She asked, do you like my legs that much? You look so pitiful. She told me take off my stockings. I thought I'll endure this humiliation for now. After all, revenge is a dish best served cold. My parents back home are still waiting for me to look after them. I was taking off the stockings from her legs and saying I proposed to make the decision based on the exam results because Qinglin barely managed to rank first even though she's always studying at school. I further added, on the other hand, you were absent from school for a month, yet you could rank second in the entire grade effortlessly. I said now that you're back to school, there's no doubt that you'll reclaim first place. Then she suddenly pressed me onto the ground. I said be gentle. I told I just got punched here, but she was quiet. I asked did she fall asleep? Jinglu told me you'd better not disturb him as she has rest, or else. I shouted you don't need to remind me. I said I'll just be her footrest, okay? Maybe because Duche was too exhausted from thinking about survival strategies every day, he fell asleep without realizing it. In a daze, he even dreamed of his hometown, Rocktown, and his parents. In his dream, they were surrounded by people pointing guns at them, led by Jie Cheng. I was shouting no. When I suddenly woke up from the dream, I was confused to find something wrapped around my face. I removed the cloth and saw a notebook lying beside me. I picked it up and started reading it. It said, thank me. I saved your life again by resisting the urge to throw you out of the car. You were holding onto my stockings even while you were asleep. I'm very pleased with that, so they're yours now. I was very angry and said just you wait. One day, I'll throw all your stockings. I shouted into the incinerator. On Monday morning, I thought I had finally gotten the weekly check-in rewards for Yu Hao, Mei, and Jie Cheng. Angrily I thought, however, the rewards I got in exchange for my life aren't as great as I imagined. I only got money and 50% off vouchers. Charisma, intelligence, stamina can only be used to enhance talents. I can't get immediate results from them. The effect of adding a point to my charisma was especially disappointing. I should use my points wisely. In the East Ver High School, Quan was saying for the midterm exams, our school will be having a joint exam with Elegant Girls High School and Gredine High School. The exams will cover all high school syllabuses, so it will be a little difficult. The students said, no way, those two schools are the best of the best. We can't outperform them. We've ranked below them in previous joint exams, and most of the top students from my middle school went to those high schools. I thought very well. I was just thinking of spending more time studying. Quickly announced the suspension of club activities and have students attend cram school collectively. Noticing my expectant gaze, she said there's also another announcement. The Department of Education requests club activities not to be suspended, but the school encourages everyone to balance their studies with club activities. During the exams, everyone must stay at school until 6 o'clock, or else the school will be reported for allowing students to attend cram school. She winked at me, and I thought, not only did I fail to escape from club activities, but the situation has also worsened. In the afternoon time, therefore, from now until the end of the midterm exams, Duche has to go to Human Observation Club every day and spend 2.5 hours with two attractive and antagonistic beauties. At 3:30 p.m., thanks to the Department of Education's lenient education policy, Duche has to head to Human Observation Club early. I looked up at the Human Observation Club. I was disgusted. Bright light was coming out of the door when I opened it. I was confused, thinking what is this? When I saw the place I was confused, saying where am I? Jie Cheng replied, if Lin defeats me in the midterm exams, I'll restore this place to its original state. She further added, but that'll depend on her capabilities. Qing Lin was silently reading her book. Jie Cheng said, by the way, Che, why don't you predict the outcome? I thought Jie Cheng is obviously forcing me to take sides again, treating me as a pawn to attack Qing Lin. I don't like Qing Lin, and I hate her spiteful tongue, but her honesty is admirable. They are both from wealthy families, yet they're fundamentally different. I was smiling and thinking, moreover, Qing Lin even lent me a book. Even though, at the end of The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby, the protagonist, died and had a lonely funeral. He worked hard to swim against the current. I can't become Jie Cheng's pawn just because Qing Lin won't do anything to me. I said actually. With a nervous face I further added, I'm a jinx, and my guesses are always wrong. Jie Cheng was angry and said, you still dare to be glib? She told, you're not thinking that I won't do anything to you anymore, are you? She said, I won't let the incident of you, Jie Cheng added force kissing me, slide so easily. Qing Lin looked up nervously. I said Cheng and replied, that day at water station, I really did want to save you. I thought some thugs wanted to harm you. You knew Lin much earlier than me, so you should know she can see through lies, right? Qing Lin was angrily looking towards me, and I was saying you can ask her if you don't believe me. Jieqing asked, so what? Is that important? She told me go. Fetch me a comic that you think is the best. I thought, does Jieqing believe Qing Lin can detect lies? If she does, it may be an opportunity for me. Then I give her a comic book. Jieqing asked me what's up, and said, do you want my stockings again? With a nervous face I replied, no. I have something to say. She shouted, you don't like them? I nervously replied, of course, I do. Qing Lin exclaimed, such a shame, and said, I was going to praise you for being brave enough to tell the truth, but once again, you couldn't resist lying right after a few sentences of truth. Angrily Jieqing shouted, how dare you lie to me? I said Cheng and thought her reaction. It seems that Jieqing believes Qing Lin can see through lies. I purchased 3 healing pills from the system while I was saying I'm just an ordinary student with no special status about the medicine from before. I apologized to Jieqing saying I got it by chance. I only have 3 pills left, and I don't have the ingredient list. I further added also, no one else knows about this, not even my parents. I thought if this works the source of my anxiety can finally come to an end. With a dark face she asked the Qing Lin, is he telling the truth? She replied, summer is here, and I lack a person who can help me buy drinks. Jieqing said, as long as you tell me if he's telling the truth, I'll buy whatever drinks you want in the future. She smirked and said, Che is a pathological liar, but I can vouch that what he just said was the truth. I was inwardly thanking her. I thought even though I lied to her about the healing pill, I've also proved that I'm just an ordinary student, so I do not pose any threat to her. Jieqing put down the comic book and said, it is boring. Further added, the comic you picked is so boring. With an evil face she said, come with me. I thought what happens next will depend on my luck. Qing Lin said, by the way, remember to get me a bottle of lemon tea on your way back here. I replied sure, and said if I can come back alive. In the sports equipment room, her guards were holding me tightly when she punched me, causing me to cough up blood. Jieqing said, how dare you fool me? Meanwhile, Jing Lu was punching my face. She said I killed the greedy but somewhat useful Dr. Gong because of this matter. I replied, you didn't believe I was just an ordinary student at that time, so I had to resort to this move. I further told also, I like you from the bottom of my heart. Jieqing said, you like me from the bottom of your heart? Where are the remaining pills? Then from my pocket I took out them. I said, you can punish me however you want as long as you don't hurt my parents. Jing Lu snatched them from me. She said, however I want, I'll drown you in East Ver Bay. Then I said, sorry, I was wrong, but I'm just an ordinary student. I want to stay alive. I don't want to go to East Ver Bay. Jieqing replied, so what if you're just an ordinary student? You touched my body and lied to me, so why should you deserve to stay alive? I was saying, wait, actually, I'm not that ordinary. I shouted, not only am I smart, but I can also be your bodyguard. When she heard that, she was stunned. She asked me, what are you talking about? I thought I can only play my last card now. Then I said, actually, I'm pretty good at fighting. With a bloody expression she asked, how good? I replied, I can fight her, and everyone was shocked when I pointed my finger towards Jing Lu. She got very angry at my remarks. Jieqing laughed and said, you're very confident. Then she told me, if you win, I won't kill you for now. She further added, if you lose, you'll get beaten to death. Jing Lu, you don't need to hold back. With dark expression she replied, yes. I said, just because I'm stoic doesn't mean I'll be at the mercy of others. I further added, you may look down on yesterday's me, but soon, I'll make you all see me in a new light. With anger she shouted, see you in a new light? Who do you think you are? The system prompt stated, you have redeemed the top-notch kickboxing. I said I am and shouted, East for hunk. I thought, please, this has to work. She was trying to hold back her laughter, but she couldn't and burst out laughing, saying, East for hunk? She said, you're trying to win by making us laugh to death, aren't you? Then suddenly, Jing Lu tried to punch me, but I was able to dodge her attack, leaving her shocked by my abilities. I was thinking, this feels like my dormant muscle memory has been awakened suddenly. I instinctively dodged her attack. I clenched my fist and thought, in this case, I might be able to win against her. I tried to launch a jab at her, but she was able to block it. She grabbed my fist, and I was shocked. Then she smirked at me, but I pushed her hand away, causing her to lose her balance. She shouted, what's going on? Then she was thrown aside. Jing Lu told me you couldn't have possibly dodged my fist, let alone have such combat prowess. Tauntingly I said, as Cheng's man, I won't be defeated by a subordinate like you when I start getting serious. She lunged at me, readying numerous punches to attack. She blocked one of my hands, preventing me from hitting her, but I managed to land a punch on her face. Then she kicked me to the ground. We created some distance between us, and I thought, although I've surpassed her in combat skills, my physical strength is lagging behind. I won't be able to win if this goes on. She was saying it's impossible. You were clearly a loser when I first met you. She again tried to attack me, shouting no human could have such talent. I saw a container nearby as I dodged her attack. I thought, is that quicklime used to mark lines on the field and running track? I said to her, did you know? Arrogance blinds people's eyes. She ran towards me, but I used my charm skill on her, and she was stunned for a few seconds. While grabbing the nearby container, I thought, although the charming skill probably won't work on this kind of woman, I just need to attract her attention for 1 second. Then I threw the powder from the container onto her face and shouted, don't underestimate me. I said, Jinglu, I wonder if you have a good knowledge of chemistry. Further added, when quicklime reacts with water, the temperature rises above 570 degrees. I advise you to close your eyes and mouth shut, and said I'll kill you if you use quicklime again. She was blind and angry, charging at me while shouting, I'll end you. I thought she can still keep her eyes open. Then I dodged her attack and thought, my stamina is nearing its limit too. I must end this fight quickly. I grabbed a nearby stick and readied myself. I pointed the stick at her, acting on instinct. She grabbed it, so I let go and kicked it, causing her to be thrown aside. I picked up a metal ball from the ground and threw it at her, hitting her directly. She was very angry and hurt. I took the metal ball again and said, do you know how hard I've worked for this day, Jinglu? I threw the metal ball at her, shouting, I wake up at 6 in the morning to lift dumbbells and do morning exercises, memorize vocabulary at 7, and study biology, contemporary sociology, mathematics, and art in the afternoon. Then I started hitting her again and again, saying, I swim 10 laps in the pool at 7 in the evening and listen to literature podcasts while lifting dumbbells and doing push-ups at 9 at night. As she coughed up blood, I continued, do you know how I made it through those days? One bodyguard said, Jinglu, who's the strongest among us, is actually defeated by a student. Other one asked, how is that possible? Without any mercy, Jiecheng was watching her get beaten up by me. Jinglu pointed her gun towards me, saying that's enough. I was very frightened, saying, do you need to go this far? In the sports equipment room, I was standing there, still, with my hands raised. Jiecheng said that's enough and told, take this medicine. Jiecheng threw the pill towards her. She put it into her mouth, and she was instantly healed. I told Miss Jia, I won. Further added, so, from now on, please don't mistake me for a loser again. She replied by saying, don't stop. Keep going. I was shocked when I heard that. She was laughing at me, then came closer, saying, you look so cute when you pale from fright. I love it. I'm very happy today, so I'll let you off this time. She told that I'll kill you when I'm in a bad mood. She said, Miss Jia, here are the remaining pills. Further added, if you lose again next time, whether or not you can be cured will depend on the doctor's skill. Embarrassed, she replied, yes. Then they left from there. I was standing there, then suddenly I fell down, saying I finally survived. In the club building, staggeringly I was walking forward while saying top-notch kickboxing cost 100,000 points. I was checking my system window, my whole face swollen, and I said I already have 10 charisma points. According to the axe, the required points to redeem 1 intelligence, charisma, or stamina point will be doubled after the 10-point mark. I was near the vending machines, saying, anyway, I won't spend points on charisma anymore. It's already at the limit of humans. As for my injuries, I can only wait for them to heal on their own. Using a healing pill or going to the hospital will bring me trouble. The school infirmary isn't an option either. I bought a Coke and put it onto my swollen face while saying, next is the lemon tea Ching Lin asked for. Quan called my name Che. I replied to Miss Quan. She said, what happened to your face? I said I got into a fight with someone. She exclaimed, a fight? I told I got punched, but I won, so there's that. Can you keep this from the school? She asked, what happened exactly? Is it related to your recent tardiness? I thought women's intuition is terrifying, then replied, it's not related to that. A girl gave me a love letter, but I rejected her, and then her admirer came to avenge her. Further added, I can't do anything about this. There are so many girls who like me, I can't possibly respond to each of them. Can I? She grabbed my hand, saying, come with me to the infirmary. I replied, I don't think it's necessary, Miss Quan. She told Che, to be honest, I've also gotten into fights when I was young. I said, don't joke with me, Miss Quan. She replied, why would I lie to you? I asked, for real? She replied, I'm not joking. I said, but you seem so elegant, completely far from being violent. Why did you get into fights? Quan Qing Nai did not reply to any of my questions on our way to the infirmary. I came back with a juice bottle and I gave it to Qing Lin. She asked, where did you go just now? I replied, I fought someone. She asked me, did you win or lose? I said, what do you think? She snapped her book shut in frustration. I said, sorry. I shouldn't have spoken to you in that tone. You even helped me just now. She replied, it's fine. My mind is as broad as the sea. I forgive your immaturity. She further added, are you saying that you can speak to me in such a tone? I replied, no way. And I thought I can't afford to offend any of them now since I'll only be amazing in the future. I asked him as, Jia, can I borrow your refrigerator? She replied, you're my subordinate now, so feel free to use it. I was confused and asked, subordinate? She replied, weren't you interviewing for the position of a bodyguard just now? Were you toying with me? I replied, but instead with a poker face, how much will my salary be? I thought we were enemies before, so I don't want to work for free. What does that mean? She can't be planning to pay me with her worn stockings, can she? What do you take me for? Don't look down on me. I asked, by the way, aren't you guys going to study? Qing Lin replied, those who don't know this level of knowledge before being taught by the teacher are dumb and are even dumber if they fail to comprehend the knowledge after the lessons. Jie Qing said those who do not acquire that level of knowledge naturally with age can be eliminated from the world. I thought, very well. Keep squabbling like this. I'll score first place in the midterms. I will continue to prove myself with my abilities. Someone asked me, Che, what's up with you lately? I replied, you're either doing practice questions or reading. Are you aiming for second place in the entire grade this time? Green-haired boy said, or have you encountered some other problem? I replied, say, what's your progress with Wang Shengu? Xiao. He said, Che, don't change the subject. Angrily the blonde told, don't bring her up. It makes my blood boil. Wang Shenku kept asking me about you whenever I chat with her. Che, if you like Wang Shenku, you'll be able to win her heart easily. I replied back, no. I only love studying, keep trying. I'm sure you still have a chance. He said it's okay. And he told, because I like someone else now. Green-haired boy asked, who made you have a change of heart? The blonde started singing and said to him, listen. I said, is that the sound of a cello? He replied, it's Chua Xiaozi from Music Club. She's practicing Jacqueline S. Tears. Someone said, excuse me. Are you Du Che who scored third place in both the entrance exam and the monthly exam? I asked, how can I help you? A girl with glasses said, hello. I'm Chan Baixiang from News Club is working on a special issue on the midterm exams, and I'd like to ask you a few questions. What is your goal for the midterm exam? Green-haired boy replied, Che's goal is second place in the entire grade. I was pushing him aside and saying that's not true. She said second place in the entire grade. I shouted, wait, my goal is top 10 in the entire school. That's my goal. She asked, may I know your usual study method? I replied, my goal is top 10 in the entire school. She shouted, may I know your usual study method? I replied, my goal. She again shouted, may I know your study method? And I was speechless. Then I said, I do practice questions from morning till night. I thought, as expected of members of News Club, to be so aggressive. She said, you don't need teachers or private tutors, and you study on your own. I shouted, hey, won't the article make me look arrogant if it's published? My image will be ruined by it. She ran from there saying, last question. What do you want to say to Qing Lin and Jie Cheng, who are ranked first and second place in the entire grade, respectively? I shouted, nothing. She said, you have nothing to say. Understood. Du Che looks down on. I shouted, wait. Then my hand came forward and grabbed her pen and copy, and she shouted, please let go of me, freedom of the media must be upheld. I said, Bai Xiang, I suddenly have something to say. Can I re-answer the last question? She replied, no problem. In the field of journalism, the wishes of the interviewees must be respected. I said, I respect Lin and Cheng a lot. They are beautiful, smart, and hardworking. They're my goals, the beacons of progress, and the ideals of my life. The green-haired boy said, Che, you're not that kind of person. With dark face she was leaving from there, and I said, please publish my response verbatim. The blonde called my name Che, and he told me they already left. I shouted, stand right there. Did you guys hear me? In the next day, someone asked, is this real or fake? And the students for saying they sure are promiscuous, using academic performance to decide who has ownership of their bodies. It's great to be young. There was written in the news poster. 3 super attractive people star in this story. Du Che declared during his interview for the exclusive Human Observation Club, I like both of you. Date me, and I'll make you happy. Despite being reprimanded, he stayed determined. Lin, Cheng, you're beautiful, smart, hardworking, modest, and kind, the epitome of Eastverse beauties. You're my goals, my ideals. Facing the shy girls, Du Che insisted, I have no interest in any other girls. You're my wings. Cheng then proposed a challenge. The club will be controlled by whoever ranks first in the exams. Lin agreed. Du Che, now a member, secretly aimed for first place too. Will his future hold a harem or defeat? Who will control the Human Observation Club? The girl with glasses said everyone, a war is coming, and it was the Doing Source News Club author, Literature Club. I shouted with anger, Literature Club. One guy asked another guy, Che, are you Do Che from the news article? The other boy replied, there can't be another guy who's that handsome. I shouted, I'm not. I didn't. Don't talk nonsense. One girl said to me, Che, is it true that you guys will use exam results to decide everything? Ching Lin asked me, it's true. I said, what are you doing? I told her this is clearly Literature Club's retaliation. She said, are you asking me to lie? The person who gets first place in the midterm exams will have any of their wishes granted by Human Observation Club. When the nearby people heard that, they got very excited. Jie Qing appeared and said, very interesting. When the nearby people saw her, they were all frightened. Jie Qing said, I'm in. I said, can I? Then further added, resign. They were both looking towards me with their strange eyes. I thought my life will probably be in danger if I asked to resign from the club now, right? And I shouted, got it. I promised to grant any of their wishes. Jie Qing said, you sure are flexible. Frightened, I was stuck between them. Then Qing Lin replied back, it seems that we've reached a consensus. Then someone asked, can I ask Qing to be my girlfriend if I get first place? And they both agreed. At noon in the staff room, Quan asked, can you all tell me what happened? I replied in Ms. Quan, you should ask News Club and Literature Club about this matter. Ms. Qing Lin and Ms. Jie Qing were actually instigated. Jie Qing said, instigated by them? Do you think we're idiots? I was frightened and replied, I didn't mean that. She said, don't worry, Ms. Quan, I won't lose. Quan replied, the school supports competition and learning, but granting any of the winner's wishes as the prize of the bet is not allowed. I was inwardly agreeing with her. Qing Lin said, Che, you're in my club, so I'll protect you. I won't make things difficult for you after I get first place. I was confused and said, protect? Jie Qing said, Che, I'll kill you if you make eyes with the woman in front of me again. When I heard that, I got scared. Quan asked me, Che, do you remember what I said to you? You must be faithful in a relationship. I was crying and exclaimed, faithful. She asked, how could you? Then she shouted, be a two-timer? Write me a 1,000-word reflective essay. I shouted back in Ms. Quan, have you also been influenced by News Club? We're not in that kind of relationship. I shouted in Ms. Qing, then Ms. Jia. She told me, stop denying. I'm very disappointed in you, Che. 5,000-word reflective essay now. My heart was broken and I was petrified, thinking the only thing I can't stand is Ms. Quan's disappointment in me. Qing Lin, Jie Qing, just you wait. This time, I'm making getting first place my goal for real. I thought you'll wear nurse uniforms on Mondays, bunny costumes on Tuesdays, maid costumes on Wednesdays, police uniforms on Thursdays, and sailor uniforms on Fridays. No break on weekends. Take selfies in Lolita and nun outfits. With anger I shouted, I'll make you two so ashamed that you can't even show your faces in public. It's time for revenge. The first place in the entire grade will belong to me, Du Che. In the corridor of the club building, someone said, is that guy Du Che? They further added, look, I heard he's a two-timer. The other one replied, does he think he can do whatever he wants just because he has good grades and good looks? One said, what a jerk. The other one replied, many people have a crush on Qing Lin and Ms. Jia, yet he, as a matter of fact, ever since News Club posted that poster, the girl exclaimed with excitement, if you look closely, Che is actually quite handsome. Yeah, especially his smile. The students' passion for learning has been unprecedentedly high. The boys were learning very hard and shouting, we can't let Che have both girls to himself. Let's go all out. It's not just boys. Many girls are also secretly working hard. After all, Du Che is a handsome young man with a charming smile. I asked, why didn't you tell Ms. Quan the truth? Further told, you made me write a 5,000-word reflective essay. She replied, because at that time, I didn't want to talk. When I heard that, I fell down onto the ground, then I shouted, you're so bad. She replied, men like bad women. After playing hard to get, this is my fourth method to make you fall in love with me. I thought the other two methods are forget it. I'm too lazy to learn about them. I said, I like gentle and caring girls. If you want me to fall for you, please work hard in this direction. And thought anyway, I won't let you succeed. She said, don't be overconfident, Che. Loving someone isn't under the control of your will. It's like a mental disorder. It doesn't work the way you want it to. She further added, instead, you have to do as it says. I will bend your will. I'll make you fall for me who's neither gentle nor caring. I replied back, same goes for you, Lin. Maybe one day, you'll fail to control your heart and fall for me first. When she heard that, her whole face darkened. She said, I admire your confidence. Further added, and I look forward to observing you after your confidence is completely shattered. She said, I'll make you wear a dress in the clubroom after the midterm exams. I told her, if I win, I'll make you wear a super revealing maid costume in the clubroom. She replied, let's wait and see. Said, to be honest, I'm looking forward to it. I thought, alas, with the help of the system's steel trap mind skill, it'll be impossible for me to lose. Someone entered the room and it was Jie Qing. She said to me, I'm bored out of my mind. I replied to her, I'm only good at studying, not at entertaining people. She told me, let's go on a date tomorrow. I haven't gone on one before, so it might be fun. I was confused and she added, aren't we a couple? Going on dates is necessary, isn't it? I asked, but didn't we break up in the sports equipment room? She replied, I never said that. I wondered it's true she didn't mention that she's breaking up with me. But the system shows that the check-in for her has been suspended. What is she up to now? Speaking of which, the system hasn't notified me about the suspension of check-in for you, Jaume. I said, but I'm busy studying Spanish, and I need to prepare for the midterms. She asked, do you think I'm discussing it with you? If I'm not happy with the date, I'll punish you by having you fight Jinglu with no restrictions on the usage of weapons. In the previous fight, I helped restrict Jinglu from using her most powerful gun. Doesn't that show how much I love you? I thought if Jinglu were to use a gun, top-notch kickboxing would be useless. Suddenly Qinglin told me I'll join, too, when I was confused. Jiecheng told her this is between me and my boyfriend. Are you trying to be a third wheel? Qinglin replied, my recent research topic is to make Che fall in love with me. I won't give up on my research topic and sample. Jiecheng mocked, make him fall in love with you? That's impossible. She told me Che likes me the most. Am I right? I'll pick you up from your house at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm looking forward to our date. I replied, I really just want to study. The next day, Saturday, I was exercising while thinking my 4 stamina points may allow me to win against Jinglu without relying on quicklime, but I'll still lose if she uses a gun. I must make myself stronger. Someone was knocking on my door and I was wiping the sweat from my face. I opened the door while saying, don't tell me you're from RBC. And it was Jinglu standing there, ready to kick me. She was looking at me, and Jiecheng was also present. When I saw them, I was shocked and then I stepped outside. Jiecheng asked, how dare you take so long to answer the door? I replied, why are you so early? I thought it was someone from RBC. She told me, bring out the stockings I gave you. I'm going to check it. I asked, you're even doing a spot check? I opened my drawer and gave her the stockings, saying, it's intact. She asked, you've never used it. I'm punishing you. I nervously replied, MSG, how could I do something as disrespectful as that? I only dare to keep your stockings in a safe place. She told me, forget it. I'll let you off this time, but I'll check it again. I asked, then should I use it or not? She told me, think about it yourself. Hurry up and change your clothes. It's time to leave. We got into the car. She was yawning and asked me, have you decided on a destination? I replied, we're going to Pinich Aqua Park. You've never been there. She exclaimed, the aquarium? I'll hold you accountable if it's boring. And then she fell asleep. I wondered my life will be in danger again today. In Shirla Town at Circun Square, a car stopped in front of Qinglin. Jinglu got out, opened the door, and greeted her. She got into the car and greeted me. I complimented, you look very pretty today, Lin. Suddenly Jiecheng tried to kick me, but I was able to stop it and asked MSG, what are you doing now? I was just being polite. I thought, thank goodness for top-notch kickboxing, or else her kick would've. Qinglin told me, Che, I see that you don't understand a woman's heart. She's jealous. I bet you only complimented me, not her. Am I right? I exclaimed, so that's how it is. I've got it now. And I said, MSG, you also look very pretty today. She ordered, throw him out of the car. I was hanging through the car door and a gun pointed on my head. Jinglu told me, jump by yourself. I don't want to waste bullets. I shouted, wait, I could die if I were to fall from here. Qinglin explained, according to section 199 of the Penal Code, homicide is a criminal offense punishable by a death sentence. Don't worry, Che. The law will avenge you. My family will not let go of this opportunity either. I shouted, I'd rather stay alive than seek revenge later. I don't want to go from being testimonial evidence to being physical evidence. Jiecheng told me I'll let it slide this time. But there won't be a next time. I thanked her for sparing my life. In the Pinich Prince Hotel, Jinglu asked MSG, should we go for the VIP access? She replied, no need. At Pinich Aqua Park, we were enjoying the surroundings when Jinglu said to MSG, should we have the staff do crowd control? She again replied, no need. Then we saw some penguins, a strange dog among them, and some llamas sitting in tubs. Qinglin was holding a dolphin show ticket. Jiecheng mocked, the Qing family must be very troubled to have you as their heiress, and told me lead the way. I want to see the sharks. I replied, don't argue, let me bring you all to a place. She told me, you know what'll happen to you if I'm not satisfied with the place you recommend. I answered, I know I'll end up dead in your hands sooner or later. Happy now? We were walking through the aquarium, and Jiecheng was looking at the jellyfish when suddenly her shoulder bumped into a girl. The girl apologized while a man, holding a camera, was telling her to hurry up. However, Jiecheng was angry and unfolded her injections from her belt. I wondered, Jiecheng wants to kill people just because of a minor accident? And she was walking towards the girl with a dark face. Somewhere in a police emergency room, a cop said, we were just informed that the daughter of the GF family is currently visiting our aquarium. Then an officer ordered, raise the security level right now. While Jiecheng was about to attack the girl, I suddenly grabbed her and pushed her aside, saying, do you think an apology is sufficient? Her boyfriend got angry, and I thought, what am I doing? I sighed and told him, I can't believe you just asked me that. Lowlifes like you two don't deserve to touch my woman's body. He charged at me, but I dodged his attack using kickboxing and landed a punch to his stomach. I was crying while thinking, sorry, dude, I'm doing this to save you. Blood came from his mouth as everyone watched in fear. He fell to the ground, and I picked him up, thinking, please suffer for a while on your girlfriend's behalf. And I started slapping his face. His girlfriend was crying and calling the police. I shouted, I dare you to scream again. A security man came and tried to stop us, and the girl was saying to him, catch him. He told me, sir, please come with me to the security office. I wondered she's still angry. This security guard's life is also in danger, and I also beat up the security man. While in my heart I was apologizing to him, the beaten guy got up trembling while saying, you even dare to hit the security guard. Could you be part of the mafia? I punched him and shouted, mafia, my foot. You're disturbing the jellyfish. Ching was trying to hold her laughter and exclaimed, disturbing the jellyfish? I wondered she actually laughed. Looks like she's no longer angry. The couple was scared and was saying, please spare us. I shouted, if you dare touch my woman again, I'll beat you up every time I see you, and told them to leave. Then I scared them off. I asked, are you okay? Let me know if you're not. I'll beat them up again to avenge you. She replied, forget it. I'm in a good mood, so I'll let her off. She's the second person who survived after touching me. I wondered just how many people has she killed. She told me to relax. I haven't killed as many people as you think. Ordinary people hardly have the chance to come into contact with me. I said, let's go see the sharks. We were walking and I said to Qing Lin, the dolphin show starts in 20 minutes, so we can still make it after seeing the sharks. Jing Lu was calling Jia. She shouted, what? You guys are so useless. Why do you need me for everything? And they apologized to her. I told Qing Lin so. Next, there are still 15 minutes till the dolphin show starts. We were walking alone in the aquarium. I asked, aren't you curious? Just now. She replied, even though the method was stupid, I could tell you were doing it for their sake. I thanked her and asked, but wouldn't most people be curious? Like the medicine I mentioned last time, what happened at water station, and so on. She replied, but you heard Qing say that my family must be troubled to have me as their heiress, and you didn't ask about it either. I told her I'm waiting for you to fall in love with me and tell me about it willingly. She replied then, I'm also waiting for you to fall in love with me and tell me about it willingly. In the Pinach Aqua Park, Haomei said to Jeezy, he's your boyfriend? Why haven't I heard about this? When did this happen? She replied, we just started dating. Haomei thought even my best friend is doing public display of affection in front of me. Haomei's last WeChat conversation with Du Che is still about her treating him to a meal, but on Tuesday, News Club suddenly posted an article about Du Che pursuing both Qing Lin and Jia Cheng at the same time. She was angry with me. Her friend and her friend's boyfriend left Haomei alone. As they left, her friend said, Haomei, can you take a picture of me and Ishu? But she was stunned, and while her friend called her, Haomei kept looking at us as we talked. Her friends then asked her, what are you looking at? She told them, what a coincidence. Her friend asked her, do you know them? She said, you upset me and I'll return the favor to you. She called my name and hugged me saying, why didn't you invite me out to play? I asked, what are you doing? And shouted so soft, no. Behave yourself. Let go of me now. She told Jeezy, this is my boyfriend, Du Che. He ranks 3rd in the entire grade at East Fur High School. I was able to get 2 A's in the resits thanks to his tutoring. She told me, nice to meet you. I'm Haomei's middle school classmate, Chi Jeezy, and the boy beside her introduced himself. I'm Xiao Ishu. He asked, who is that girl? She replied, nice to meet you. I'm Qing Lin. I'm an admirer of the pathological liar beside me, and he's also pursuing me at the moment. Haomei was shocked and Qing Lin further added, that's not accurate. Actually, we're having a competition to see who will fall in love with the other party first. She asked, is this some kind of romance game? She shouted, Che, what is this woman talking about? A nearby lady said that handsome guy had another pretty girl with him just now, and he even got into a fight for her. I shouted, hey, what does it have to do with you? She grabbed my hand and I was screaming and the nearby people were discussing about me. Qing Lin told me, Du Che, if you want me to fall in love with you, being single is the most basic requirement. Please break up with them immediately. Haomei puffed out her cheeks and said, who do you think is better, me or this woman? I replied, you two are similar. I was thinking I neither like nor dislike them. The boy thought he wants to date both girls at the same time, and the girl was thinking he refuses to break up with either one of them, and they were both thinking, could he be the legendary? One thought a scumbag, another thought a ladies' man. Qing Lin told me, I actually hold the same place as Haomei in your heart, just as I thought. Those who only know how to predict exam questions are prone to lose basic judgment skills beyond studying. I was angry and she further added, so I suggest you do wider reading rather than just reviewing for exams. As a fellow competitor, I don't wish to lose to your ignorance. I asked, only know how to predict exam questions? Ignorance? You know, I know Chinese and business English, and I'm currently learning Spanish. These aren't part of the syllabus. She told me the United Nations has 6 official languages: English, French, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, and Spanish. Besides these 6 languages, I also know German. I said excuse me for being blunt, but learning a language isn't hard. We're able to learn as many languages as we want once we find the patterns. I thought I have steel trap mind now, so I'll soon surpass you. She told me you're right, but for me who knows 7 languages, I'm also right to say that you're ignorant. And everyone got impressed. I said I'm knowledgeable in many subjects beyond languages, including biographies and sciences, and I explained the large one is a stingray, the one at 1 o'clock is a sea bream, at 10 o'clock is a glow-light tetra, and the gnashing one is a bullhead shark. The schooling fish are pilchards, and the spotted ones are garden eels. Haomei was amazed, and the boys were angry with me. Qing Lin laughed at me and told me I just find it hilarious. Che, reciting the information on the aquarium signs doesn't mean you're knowledgeable in marine biology. Or is it that your so-called being knowledgeable is as shallow as this? A girl beside me said, but being able to memorize and identify the marine animals is already impressive. I thought she saw through me again. Could it be that she also knows telepathy besides being able to see through lies? Then an announcement was made: the dolphin show will soon begin. She told me never mind. I'm sure I'll have opportunities to refute you with facts and evidence in the future. I replied the dolphin show is about to start. Let's go. She said right. The people around us recognized me and Qing Lin as the high-ranking student, and Haomei was left there shocked. Suddenly Haomei hugged me and said what a coincidence. I like watching dolphin shows. You're making it hard for me to walk. Her friend said, Haomei, your boyfriend is amazing. She replied, he's just an average guy, barely qualified to be my boyfriend. Her friend replied, be careful, though. Even though he was arguing with that woman just now, they seemed to have a close relationship. I was screaming while she was hugging my arm and saying it's nothing compared to the relationship between Che and me. You Haomei, and the #1 beauty in Divju County. In the Pinachakwa Park they were performing the dolphin show. I asked, why are you sitting on me when there's clearly an empty seat next to me, and a nearby woman was covering her child's eyes from us. She asked, why are you sitting on her dress? Then I told her, sorry, Lin. She replied, it's okay. She asked, why such a big reaction? Could you have fallen in love with me already? I replied, I'm just worried that I might have accidentally ruined your expensive dress. And Haomei was secretly trying to put her dress on my seat. I told Qing Lin I can't afford to pay for your dress. I moved aside from Haomei's dress while saying, so, please don't overthink it. While she was trying to put her dress on my seat, I was shouting, don't worry. I wouldn't fall for you even if I were to fall in love with dolphins. She called my name Duche and asked, why aren't you sitting on my skirt? I dodged her question while she got angry and her friends were looking towards us. Qing Lin asked me, do you not love dolphins? I was going to answer, but Haomei intervened and said Che must prefer penguins to dolphins, just like me. Isn't that right, Che? I replied, dolphins and penguins, I don't love either of them. Haomei asked, what animals do you love? Then Qing Lin told me, Che, it's time to prove your taste. I replied, I love wild animals of the countryside, oxens that chew on grasses in the field ridges. Haomei said, that's the taste of country folks. Qing Lin told me it's as horrible as I thought. I replied, that's right. My taste might not be as good as you guys, but that should not be a reason for either of you to mock me. Especially you, Lin. You've also read The Great Gatsby. In the first chapter, the author wrote, whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. Qing Lin said, but Che, this world is inherently unfair. An unlucky guy got splashed by a dolphin. She added, the only thing you can do is to strive to change yourself, rather than trying to negotiate with the other party for them to give up their advantages, even if those advantages are determined by birth. I replied, fine. I can't argue with you. The announcers announced the dolphin show has ended. We were leaving from there. Haomei asked me, shall we go to the gift shop to buy souvenirs? I replied, sorry. I have work in the afternoon, so I have to leave now. In the DVD store near Pinach Station, I asked which one should I choose to practice my speaking. I should have consulted Qing Lin. The store owner welcomed us. She asked me, Che, aren't you supposed to be working? I replied, thank you for not exposing me just now. She told me, although I hate the act of lying, I don't have the habit of exposing other people's lies as long as those lies aren't directed at me. I replied, I see. By the way, I'd like to ask you for recommendations. Could you recommend a few dramas that are helpful for practicing speaking and listening? She replied, you can practice with any drama, but if you want my recommendations, I recommend Town Manor and Dr. Mysterious, but the subtitles and the DVDs here are made for the general audience. If you need them, I can lend you mine. I asked, really? She said, one moment I'm antagonizing you, the next I'm lending you my personal items. This is my 6th method to make you fall in love with me. I thought, why is the 5th method missing as it were for the 2nd and 3rd methods? But forget it. Studying is more important. I told her, if it's okay with you, Can you lend them to me now? I'd like to start watching them today. She replied, of course, but you have to wait a moment, and she bought some DVDs. I exclaimed, so, you agreed to lend me the DVDs because you want me to carry stuff for you? I've been tricked by you again. She replied, no pain, no gain. The same goes for love. I shouted, don't talk as if I'm pursuing you. In the Qing Lin's apartment. I thought Qing Lin lives in an apartment near our school. I can see this tall building from my humble abode. I didn't know we lived so close to each other. She lent me her book before, and now she's lending me her DVDs. I told her, Lin, I realize you're actually quite a nice person. Even if I won't fall in love with you, I'm willing to be friends with someone like you. She replied, didn't I tell you at the barbecue restaurant? I won't be friends with people emphasis who lie. I shouted goodbye. I thought, what's with her? She never gives up on any opportunity to mock me. At May 26th, Monday, Jie was playing video games and saying, I'm so bored. Che, get me some grapes. I replied, I'm studying. Angrily, she called my name, Duche. I replied, okay, I'll go now. I told her, first, you made me bring you tea, and now you want grapes. You could at least pay me for the errands I've been doing for you. Look, I even missed a day's work just to go to the aquarium with you. I'm broke this month. Salary represents the value of a person's work and effort. So, I thought even though I'm poor, as East for hunk, I still need to have dignity. Using Smile Charming, I asked, why don't you be generous? I thought I'd rather treat my enemy as an ATM than get back together with her. She replied, you're right. Salary represents the value of a person's work and effort. She picked up a grape and said, here's your salary. I wondered, is she looking down on me and humiliating me? I asked Qing Lin, do you want to eat this? Jie told me, I'll make you jump down from here if you dare to regift what I gave you to someone else. I told her we're on the 5th floor. She asked, is it too low for you? Tell me which floor you want to jump down from. I can build a building for you. I thought, she's looking down on me and humiliating me. I asked, am I supposed to praise your generosity? Qing Lin told me, Che, you seem to really enjoy Cheng's orders. Could it be that you like this? Did I use the wrong methods in the past? I shouted, who would like to be bossed around? This is my job. Obeying her orders is my duty as her subordinate. In the 1st floor of the club building, school students were leaving from the school. I said, how clumsy of me to forget my umbrella at home. I was checking the system and I thought, turns out it's about Yuhaume's check-in streak. It's exactly 1 month today, and I received check-in gifts 5,000 points and $10,000. I got exactly 5,000 points, which is the same as the points rewarded to me when I successfully romanced Yuhaume. Jie asked, did you not bring an umbrella? As my bodyguard, I can't believe you failed to keep track of the weather. You have 1 day to come up with a reason for me not to punish you. I thought getting the check-in gifts is very important. This is related to whether I can defeat the multi-billionaire Jie family. I asked MSGNO, Cheng, do you think I still have a chance? She exclaimed, what chance? I replied, to get back together with you. Cheng, I like you the most. Please be my girlfriend. She told me, you're crazy. I thought, seems like the check-in gifts and points made me lose my rationality. I can't possibly win Jie Cheng's heart with such a simple confession. A girl said, that's Duche from Human Observation Club. Her friend replied, only he could talk to MSGL like that. And her name was Zhaozi. I thought, that's the girl Guishio mentioned previously, right? His new crush. Qing Lin asked, did you get rejected by Cheng? And in front of everyone, no less. I asked, you saw it too, and I thought, darn it, I made a fool of myself in front of her again. I'd also be able to get a ton of points if I could romance Qing Lin, but that might be even harder. Qing Lin can see through lies, and she never lies. If I want to romance her, the only way to do so is to make her fall for me for real. She asked, why are you looking at me like that? Che, rainy days do stir up sinful desires in the human heart. If you're blinded by lust and intend to sexually harass me, at least pick a place where no one's around. I was shocked, and she added, we've never done each other wrong, so why do you always pick on me? She said, that's wrong. I'm the same with everyone. I only speak the truth, and I never lie. Therefore, I won't sugarcoat my opinions of you, including my speculations about your behavior. As for how others see you, everyone was saying the article from News Club was telling the truth. Human Observation Club is promiscuous. A boy shouted, what a frivolous guy. I ran from there saying, I'll see you tomorrow, Lin. Be careful on your way home. You're enjoying it. Do you want to see me make a fool of myself? I'll get myself drenched by the rain for you. As East for hunk, I won't let myself be swayed by other people's gazes. She said I was gonna have my driver drop you home on the way. In the Duche rental house, I was wiping my hair and thinking, being too brutally honest in relationships can have the opposite effect. Say, what kind of willpower drove Qing Lin to insist on only speaking the truth and not lying? It's easy to be a likable person in this world. We just need to give up, compromise, and hide our true selves. To stay true to our hearts and not care about how others view us. To never tell a lie. How many can live in this way for even a day? But if it's her, I won't have any doubts. If so, embarrassing myself in front of her is no big deal. In May 27th, Tuesday, I told Qinglin I was inspired by her attitude in life. I've decided not to care how others view me. Success lies in one's attitude to life. I can tell that within Eastver High School. You and I are the ones who will truly stand out in the future. She asked what about Cheng? I replied she has already shown her worth. She asked, didn't you say you wouldn't be swayed by others? You can choose to remain silent if you don't wish to answer the question. Why did you make up a lie to appease me? I thought, as expected of Qinglin. She could tell that I wasn't being honest. Seriously, she's way more imposing than I am. If I fall silent in front of her, it feels more like I'm rendered speechless because I can't back myself up. She told me you're indeed excellent, Che, but it's still too early for you to think that you're on par with me, unless you can stop lying, or successfully fool me once again. I thought she's making fun of me. Haomei was calling me Duche, and I was thinking, no, this is a provocation. I completely ignored her and she was silent, standing there with a dark face, and outside was raining. On Monday, the system prompt stated check-in for you, Haomei suspended. You still have one new email. Events, your girlfriend breaks up with you. The East for Hunk, unilaterally. Event, get back together with you, Haomei and Jiacheng. I was reading the system panel and I thought events 1 and 3 are life risking. Why didn't you remind me during Jiacheng's event? Wait, what's this? It doesn't require points. Beyond healing, self-healing beyond human limits. Capable of healing all non-fatal injuries, including broken hands and feet. Side effect, consumes stamina, slowing healing. Cannot heal hatchet damage. I thought healing of beyond level. I really want it. The teacher called my name and I was shocked, and she told me the class has started. Stop making weird hand gestures. I replied sorry. In the break time, I was thinking events 1 and 3 are life-risking. Yu Haomei is just an ordinary girl. Can she threaten my life? Instead, there wasn't any reminder about mortal peril when it came to Jia Cheng, who has the ability to kill me. This is so strange. Suddenly my friend called my name Che. He told me, I heard you got together with Qinglin. I was confused and he added, stop pretending. Dude, the whole school knows that the two of you walked together from the 1st to the 3rd floor while chatting animatedly with each other. Spill, what stage are you in now? Have you kissed? I slapped him on the forehead and told him stop making things up. He started shouting at me and I was thinking he's way too obsessed with Super Fist. Stay calm. The only event that does not carry any risk is event 2, getting back together with Jiacheng. If I succeed, I can get 5,000 points and continue to get the check-in reward. I took out my phone and saw some messages. I typed, you wanna die? She replied, I'd like to die of old age with you. I wanna grow old with you. I typed back, scram. I thought. She replied, this is ineffective against her. Then a message came in, Che, I'd like to go to Light Temple and Eastver Tower after my tests this Sunday. I said, Ben Lingzi from my hometown intends to come to Eastver. How troublesome. I can't let her know my situation right now. Still, I can ask her for some tips to deal with girls. She texted, Lingzi, what kind of guys do high school girls like nowadays? With an evil grin, I replied, do you have someone you like? She texted, no, it's for a social study topic. I plan to study how high school girls in 2 different eras view relationships. I replied, what a weird topic. She told me, that's how it is in Eastver. It's not as innocent as our village. I replied, indeed, Eastver people aren't good people. She said, come on, you gotta tell me. I need to do my homework. I replied, being handsome and smart is a must. I thought, I made a fool of myself. She's not as gullible as she used to be. Asked, how many of those qualities do I have? She said, what do you mean, Che? I texted, I said I'm coming to Eastver this Sunday after the tests. Shouldn't you say something? She told me, go on ahead. No one's stopping you. She shouted my name Duche and said, I'm telling on you to your mom. In the Imperial Garden, Knoll City, a girl entered the train and was about to fall. I saw her piano was going to hit me, so I stopped her, and she blushed. I asked, are you okay? She replied, I'm fine. I thought, no. I accidentally activated charming by smiling. She told me I'm Hua Xiaozi from class 1 of year 2. She bowed down thanking me for her help. I stopped her piano and it nearly hit me again. She again apologized to me and said I'm heading home after my music lesson. The exam is coming soon. Where are you going so late, Che? And I thought, in fact, Che is headed to the Ean Book Library to get some books. They have a wide range of books there, including a vast collection on dating and relationships. Che is determined to use any means necessary to defeat Jia Cheng and get revenge by playing a game of love. The train announcer said next stop, 3rd Street of Knoll City. I told her see you tomorrow, Jiaozi. She replied, see me tomorrow? He seems interested in me, but we didn't decide on a time and place. The next day at noon, one day before the midterm examinations, the green-haired boy asked Shio, have you confessed to the girl in the music club? He replied, I failed again? Not to mention confess. I didn't even speak to her. The green-haired boy wondered maybe she likes someone else. Suddenly my phone started ringing and it was Jie asking me for food. I tried to say can't you, but she hanged up the phone. Xiao asked Che, what do you have to do with Qinglin and Jie? I told him Qinglin is vying for my affection, but I'm courting Jie is trying to make Qinglin angry through me. I have to get Miss Jie her food, and he was cursing at me. The green-haired boy told me you're becoming a playboy by two-timing. At noontime, I was reading a book titled How to Seduce a Rich Girl. As I was walking forward, two girls were talking with each other. Between them was Xiaozi, and she called me Che and wondered, did you come to find me? I said yeah to what I read in the book. Xiaozi said it's not that I don't have time at all. I didn't notice her and ended up ignoring her as I walked forward. Some boys were angry at my actions and even started cursing me, while the girls were admiring my handsome looks. At noontime in the second classroom, I brought food for Jie. She asked, what did you bring? The boys got angry when I called Jie by her first name, and I presented donuts. The girls were discussing, are they in a relationship then? What about Lin? One girl angrily exclaimed, how dare he 2 times so openly? Jie told me I don't feel like eating that. Get me something else. I asked something else. She shouted, do I need to repeat myself? I said my bad Ching, what would you like? I'll get it for you. Suful's toward a fruit or something else. Do you know that you're pretty even when you're angry? I thought I need to be gentle first. She exclaimed, what are you staring at? And I was confused. She suddenly tried to kick between my legs. I stopped her leg and said, Cheng, we should do this in private. Doing it here is too much, isn't it? She told me, take it off and lick. When the boys heard that, they became envious and angry at me. I pressed her leg downward and I said, Cheng's legs are mine. You shouldn't let other men see it. She replied, fine. I'll only show it to you. I'll go over to your place tonight. She left, and I was confused, thinking, this isn't the same as in the book. I began imagining myself tied up with a rope, being ordered to lick. I thought, no, I absolutely can't let her come to my place. I said, Cheng, look, the midterms start tomorrow, so being in good physical condition should be our priority. She replied, no can do. Discipline Inspector Huai said, you're Duche. Why did you come to class 2 instead of staying in your own classroom? Behind her the boys were shouting, he touched Cheng's leg earlier. We would like to report this guy. She was angry and shouted, that's scandalous. I asked, is there anything wrong with me touching my girlfriend's leg, and requested, Cheng, quick, say something for me. She smirked at me and said, I don't know this guy. Please punish him. I was confused and thinking, does Jie want me to face disciplinary action and then threaten me with expulsion? I absolutely can't let her get her way. I was crying and said, Huais, please listen to my explanation. Cheng was the one who kicked me first, so before I could finish, she grabbed my hand and started dragging me while shouting, come with me to the principal's office. I exclaimed, the principal's office? Seriously? Jie was enjoying herself, eating the donut as I was being dragged. In the principal's office, she shouted, sir, Duche has committed severe misconduct. Please handle this matter seriously. I was saying, sir, please let me explain myself. The principal called my name with a dark expression and told me you have to apologize to Cheng sincerely for this and make sure you get her forgiveness. Don't do this again, and good luck on your exams. I was shocked, thinking I won't be facing disciplinary action. Huai shouted, don't do it again, sir. Are you letting him off just like this? He thought I remember this handsome young man. He was from Seater Junior High School, which was on the verge of closing down, and he self-studied to get into our school. His life experiences are very inspiring. He's someone I plan to promote heavily, but he's too frivolous. Just some time ago, he harassed a young female teacher in the teacher's office, and now he went to another classroom during recess to hit on a female student, the daughter of the GF family at that, but he's indeed a good student. After all, he's 3rd in his grade. He explained to Huais, Che merely made a mistake that every teenage boy makes. Besides, it's his first offense. Why don't we give him a chance? Huais shouted, sir, that's no excuse for letting him off. He asked Che, if I recall correctly, you're really bad at PE. I replied, I'm always mocked by others during PE class. He told me, well, as far as I know, Jie has pretty good physical strength and she has supporters around her. He further added, if she was unwilling to go along with Che, or if Che had malicious intent, I believe other students would have stopped Che before he could do anything. He asked, I'm right, aren't I? I answered, yes, you are. He told me, all right, it's almost class time. Go back to your classroom. While leaving from there, I thought, looks like I'll always have the backing of our principal as long as I maintain my grades. In the class 4, I exclaimed, the news spread too fast. The green-haired boy was asking me, how did Cheng's leg feel? I asked, how would you feel if she stepped on you and made you take off her socks? The boys were saying, I'd be honored, exhilarated, and it would be painful yet joyful. The girls exclaimed, disgusting, pervert. The boys shouted, as a man, of course, I'd be delighted to have a beauty step on me. Exactly. It's weird to be angry over it. I asked, you guys are kidding, aren't you?" and shouted, "You all lose your sense of self just from seeing a girl with a good figure and a pretty face? We can't be so shallow. The girl is delighted with me," and the boys were angry, saying you're pretentious and shameless. I thought, how can I East for Hump be the same as you guys? System prompt appeared before me stating you have a new email. On May 28th at 12:36 p.m. in game, the music club girls you bumped into seem interested in you. Successfully date both Ming Mai and Hua Xiaozi simultaneously before the end of the school year to earn 10,000 points. But be cautious, as this event may be life-risking, and as a special reward, you'll gain top-notch shooting skills, able to use pistols and rifles with 100% accuracy on targets within 150 feet. I wondered, although I don't intend to participate in high-risk events, it doesn't hurt to take a look. The system prompt further stated, beyond restore energy, this energy recovering ability surpasses human limits, but without timely replenishment of minerals, players risk acute heart failure. Beyond healing, this self-healing ability exceeds human limits, enabling players to heal all non-fatal injuries, including broken hands and feet. I thought, wait a minute, if these three special abilities could be combined, wouldn't it be a way to wipe out the GF family by myself? I exclaimed out loud, this is an opportunity, and my friends were confused by my actions. Suddenly Xiaozi shouted, "What are you guys doing? Don't bully Che." The boys were extremely angry when they heard that, and I told her I'm fine. Everyone was just joking. She asked, "Really?" I thought this event might be an opportunity, but it could also be a trap. In the background, the boys were saying, even MS Kwan is on his side just because he has good grades. I was thinking I should calm down and think. Let me calculate the success rate. While having Jie Cheng as my girlfriend, Xiaozi started her class, and I thought, next, I have to decide on an order to romance 3 girls secretly for revenge. I wrote a plan in my diary to date 2 girls. Plan 1 was to romance Jie Cheng with a budget of everything except my parents' lives. Plan 2 was to reunite with Yu Haomei after dating Jie Cheng, then break up and demand secrecy, using all my assets. Plan 3 was to pursue Ming Mai and Hua Xiaozi without disturbing my love until she pleases, budgeting all my charisma. I thought I must move forward, by any means necessary. At the Eastford High School gate after class, a car stopped in front of me, and I exclaimed, Jie Cheng's car, again? I wonder, don't tell me she really wants to go to my place and make me play with her feet. I was entering the car while thinking, since she's waiting for me here, I definitely can't run away. Then, when I entered the car, Jing Lu was visibly nervous and worried, so I silently sat down. Suddenly someone opened the car door, and it was Qing Lin asking me, why are you here? I thought so she wasn't waiting for me. After all, I tried to leave from there and I told her it's a misunderstanding. I'll head home now. Jie Cheng stopped me and asked, do you think you can hop in and out of my car whenever you like? I answered, of course not. I thought since Lin is here as well, Cheng wouldn't do anything crazy. We were both in the car and I asked her, where are we going? She answered, my place. I asked, isn't it too early to meet your parents? She replied, no, it's just right. I thought, I'm an idiot. How can there be a person as stupid as me? Why did I get into the car? I'm literally a self-absorbed hothead. The car stopped, with Jie Cheng opening the door in front of a line of guards, and we started walking forward. The maids bowed and guided us through the house. Suddenly a maid stopped me and I thought, I'm going to be patted down, isn't it? That's what happens in movies. Jie Cheng ordered, it's fine, let him in. I said, sorry. I have her absolute trust. They requested, please come this way. I said, Lin, what are you here for? She told me, you'll know soon enough. What's your relationship with Jie Cheng? I was confused and angry. She added, looks like I need to start being more intimate with you in front of Jie Cheng. I shouted, I'm sorry for giving you attitude. The maid told us, please wait here for a moment. I wondered, this person and the coat of arms, I've seen them in books. The Jie family is actually one of the 5 great families of Eastfur. Can this matter really end here after I take down the Jie family? I slapped myself thinking, what am I thinking about? Even if it means going against the world, I must take revenge for what happened at Water Station. The maid served us some snacks, and I greedily munched on them while thinking, these are pastries served at state banquets. I need to fill my stomach first so that I can have the energy to plan my revenge. Someone called Lin. I thought, who's the person who can call Qing Lin in such a friendly manner? She replied, yeah. And it was director of Qing Group, Qing Lizi. She asked, I'm Qing Lizi, the executive director of Qing Group. May I know who are you? I thought I knew this would happen. Although I'm still very poor, I can't appear inferior to the rich. I introduced myself. I'm Du Che, an ordinary student at Eastford High School who's destined for greatness in the future. Jie Cheng exclaimed, destined for greatness in the future? That phrase is superfluous. I asked, does this mean you think I'm great enough now, Cheng? I'm so touched. And the maid was frightened by my behavior. I wondered she ignored me. Jie Cheng sat down and told Qing Lizi to let's begin. The meeting started with Jie Cheng's support. The meeting was filled with various jargon that Du Che couldn't understand. Every time Jie Cheng spoke, Qing Lizi would look at Qing Lin. I said very well. I, Du Che, am willing to call you Lin the polygraph. She told me it's fine if you don't understand the content of the meeting, but if you make another irrelevant remark, I will ask you to leave. I shouted, who says so? I thought not only do the two girls have excellent academic performance, but they also have knowledge in financial management, policy analysis, and other fields. This is especially true for Jie Cheng. Despite my great reluctance, I have to admit that she is indeed a genius among devils. The gap between me and them is evidently massive, even though I'm also doing a remarkable feat of learning Spanish by myself. 2 hours later they left from there. Qing Lizi said no man has ever entered this mansion since Jie Cheng moved into it. What's the relationship between that boy named Du Che and the heiress of the Jie family? Qing Lin replied, who knows? I was thinking, could this be the feast at Swan Goose Gate, as described in Chinese history? I asked her, did you make me stay behind just to have dinner with me? She told me, I think you're the one who has something to say to me. Am I right? I'll give you a chance. I replied, actually I do have a reason for seeing you today. I shouted, what exactly do I need to do for you to get back together with me? She asked, do you like me? And everyone was stunned and silent, looking towards us. I thought, Jie Cheng, I'm going to turn you into my point-earning machine for the system. I replied, of course, you're beautiful, and your legs are attractive, so I fell hopelessly in love with you from the moment I saw you. But I'm the eldest son and my family will want me to return to my hometown, get married, and have kids after graduation. Then I shouted, you won't allow me to be with another woman, will you? I thought my acting skills are impeccable. She replied, of course, don't even dream of doing that for the rest of your life. I told her, since that's the case, I only have one path to take, and that's to be with you. She told me, but to be with me, you must marry into my family and change your surname to Jie. I replied, patrilineal surnames and whatnot are parts of the feudal system that should be abandoned. It doesn't matter to me at all. She exclaimed, is that so? I wondered, wait a minute, didn't I just claim that I'm the eldest son, so I must carry on the family line? I told her, besides, we can have 4 children together, like one of the past emperors and empresses. I'll be happy to have just one of the children take my surname. I thought I'd better try to set this to rights. She asked, didn't you say you were smart and hardworking, and that you were never slack? What if you seize my power when I'm bearing your children? Using smile charming skill, I told her I have no interest in power. I just want to live an idle life. I study for the sake of self-enrichment, not to gain anything from it. And all the maids got charmed by me. She told me, I can give you a chance, but on one condition. I asked, what is it? She replied, I read a novel a few days ago, and in it the male protagonist confessed to the female protagonist in front of the entire school during their exam to prevent her from disappearing coincidentally. We'll be taking the midterms tomorrow. If you do that, I'll consider getting back together with you. Servants exclaimed, how romantic, I'm so envious. I wondered, brat does not dream, I can't be mistaken. That must be the novel she's referring to. I answered, okay, no problem. The maids were happy and the guards were confused by my actions. I thought nothing romantic will ever happen between me and this crazy woman. I Du Che will be like a Weiqi fanatic in Weiqi Tale, gaining the power for revenge in the most stirring way. At night in Du Che's place I said, in any case, I've now made a breakthrough, but what did that crazy woman give me? I remembered when Jinglu stopped me and gave me a bag saying, Ms. Jie has instructed you to take this and keep it in a safe place. I opened the gift, it was some pairs of stockings, and I exclaimed, considering that Jie Cheng might wear a new pair of socks every day, these should be what she wore in the past few days. She must be treating me as a trash can. Wednesday, May 29th in the East Ver High School. I thought today is the first day of the midterms. It'll be a joint exam between 3 schools, covering the entire scope of the college entrance examination. Just as it says in The Great Gatsby, not everyone has the same advantages for schools that have yet to teach the entire syllabus and those without midterm exams. Their students should be enjoying a happy high school life now. But in the exam hall that determines their future, they will face students of East Ver High School, a school with abundant educational resources. What's left for them are employment, junior colleges, and expensive third-rate private colleges. The exam started and I thought the first paper is history and geography, which has a total score of 100. The questions are exactly as I predicted. Luck is truly on my side. This will be the turning point where Qing Lin loses the bet and be stripped of her #1 ranking in school. In the East Ver High School examination hall at 11:02 a.m. I called Sir and asked I need to use the restroom. I thought I finished answering the questions, I should be able to get full marks. He told me, you can, but you can't hand in your test paper early, so please turn it over and place it on the desk. I replied, sure, no problem. In the Eastver High School sports field, I drank a water bottle and I thought all of this is for my revenge. I loudly shouted, "I'm Duche from Class 4, a guy destined for greatness in the future." Everyone was confused what is happening outside and the examiner was shouting at them, "Settle down, keep quiet." I shouted, "Now, listen to me, all of you, Jieching from Class 2. I like you, please be my girlfriend." Everyone was shocked when they heard that and the examiner was shouting at them, "Settle down now, or you'll be deemed to be cheating." I added, "I've liked you ever since you kissed me at the water station and I thought I wouldn't forget how you almost killed me at the water station." The blonde was shocked when he heard that Che and Jieching had kissed. I further added, "In front of Eastver High School, Valley Station, and everyone else, I swear," I shouted, "I really like you." Haume called Duche and shouted, "You're a total scumbag." I was blushing and thinking making a public confession is even more embarrassing than I imagined. Jieching, it's game on. I'll be waiting for your response next. Later, the teachers and principal scolded me harshly, but thanks to my excellent grades and MS Quan defending me, I wasn't punished. In Class 2, I asked, "Excuse me, has anyone seen Chen?" A girl replied, "I just saw her heading toward the club building." The boys were furious, shouting, "This guy has ulterior motives. He kissed Jieching. Is Jieching being coerced by Che? We need to find out." I thanked Jingshang. She looked at me and asked, "Che, do you know me?" I thought to myself, Qing Lin's the reason I remember every student's name and face. Hopefully, it won't lead to misunderstandings. I replied to her, "Of course." She blushed, trying to say something, but I quickly added, "Sorry, I'm in a hurry to find Chen." At the Eastver High School club building, everyone glared at me angrily, cursing under their breath. I thought to myself, I have to admit, Jieching hides her true self well. In front of the boys, she's a haughty queen. The news club barely scratched the surface. But no one knows that I, Duche, hide a vengeful heart beneath my reckless facade. In some ways, we're more alike than people think. I walked into the Human Observation Club, where Jieching was playing video games. I called out, "Cheng, are you waiting for me? I've already confessed. What's your answer?"